Time for Conference USA football on ESPN. You're looking into the Rock in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, where the North Alabama Lions are in town to take on the Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles. I'm Jason Baker. With me, my color analyst, former Southern Miss Golden Eagle quarterback, Dustin Allman. And Dustin, for Chris Willis's North Alabama Ball Club today, in order for them to have success against the Golden Eagles, we feel it's going to begin with his defensive unit. Within that defensive unit, it'll start with the defensive line.
It is all going to start up front with this defensive, the big four guys we talk about. Now, it's led by senior Wallace Cowens Jr. We got to watch this guy a little bit in the pregame. This guy is a freak. Now, expect him to make big plays and to get those other 10 on defense going.
And looking across the field for Southern Miss, a little quarterback uncertainty today. We're not sure the status of quarterback Jack Abraham. So we feel the most important player on the field today for the Golden Eagles will be running back Frank Gore Jr.
And Frank Gore Jr. comes in this year as a freshman. Now, he's won this starting job. The guy has a lot of talent now. I tell you what, he looks like a freshman, but he leads as a senior. This guy ran angry last week. Expect a big game for him today.
Offensive coordinator Matt Kubik has called him a pro even as a true freshman. We're going to have more from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. It's the North Alabama Lions taking on the Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles when we return on ESPN. And we're back in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Jason Baker, Dustin Allman with you. Southern Miss and North Alabama. And Dustin, today we've got a couple of keys, some Allman notes, if you will. Let's begin with the North Alabama Lions.
So North Alabama, they have got to control and get the running game going. Now they got the running back Driggers. This is going to be key for this matchup to keep Southern Miss offense on the sideline and allow them to eat us from clock. Now, containing Southern Miss's passing game defensively, UNA's really got to get after them. Kind of throw some looks that maybe this young or this inexperienced quarterback hasn't seen. Now, keeping the Southern Miss off balance, expect some misdirection plays, kind of allow some better angles for the O-lineman up front and to get this running game going. Now, Southern Miss controlling the line of scrimmage. This is going to be key on both sides of the ball. We have an experienced front up on the offensive side. Now, Trey Lowe's coming in with not much game time experience this year, so those guys have got to be key. We got to control the turnover battle. And most importantly, the special teams in this game. Expect them to be big and be a key factor today.
When you look at this Southern Mississippi offense, you alluded to it just a moment ago. We believe we'll see the Golden Eagle offense first, and we will. Trey Lowe, the third, we believe will be today's starting quarterback. Jack Abraham will be unavailable today for the Golden Eagles. So it'll be a pair of brand new quarterbacks today. North Alabama chose to defer this selection today, so they will kick off. For Trey Lowe, as a former quarterback, what's got to happen early for him to get settled into this game for the Southern Miss?
So right now, Trey Lowe is kind of sitting on the sideline. You have those jitters, you have those nerves, and it all kind of comes down to that first play. Now, the key is getting him out there, getting him an easy completion, getting the run game going with Frank Gore, and just controlling those nerves and really letting him settle in this game.
Sam Contorno set to kick it away for North Alabama. We're in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and we are underway. It's going to be a short kick that's going to be taken by the up back and fumbled. He believed that was Devin Thomas. He believed he had called for a fair catch. He had not. It was not granted. A turnover and a fumble recovery on the opening play of the game in Hattiesburg today, just the start the North Alabama Lions needed today.
That's right. They're coming off a 2-week bye. This is big for them to get going.
So a look at the replay, you see Devin Thomas sort of take it, then begin to run, and that was stripped loose for North Alabama. That was Darrell Sims who came in to strip it loose. So for Southern Miss, one turnover in their last 5 games, a turnover each in their last 5 games. A look now into the quarterback for the North Alabama Lions, Blake Deaver. Deaver, a pocket passer. He'll throw down the middle, no one there. And a roughing the passer penalty is going to come in here from our official today, Billy Williams. It's going to be on Cameron Harrell, who was coming on a blitz. He came uncontested, wasn't picked up when you look back at the replay here in just a second. We'll hear from our referee, a Conference USA crew, Billy Williams.
Roughing the passer. On the defense, number 29. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
And Dustin, for Southern Miss, not the start they want. A turnover on the opening kickoff return unit and then a penalty on the opening play.
It's not. These guys have got to settle down. Now, of course, it wasn't what they wanted at the beginning with the kickoff return and turning it over. You know, Coach Peck comes out aggressive and sends that corner crash. Now he gets there, forces him to get rid of the ball a little bit earlier than he would expect. But now the crucial part is the personal foul there at the end of the play.
So a fresh set of downs. They can get a first down. They can get a first down at the 2-yard line, can the Lions of North Alabama. Blake Deaver will call for it and then look to his sideline to get an audible here for North Alabama. That's Jawan Howell, his tailback, directly behind him in a pistol formation. Play action pass, and that pass is caught. That's Andre Little, his favorite target, and on the board is North Alabama with a 12-yard touchdown pass out of their senior quarterback's hand in Blake Deaver.
North Alabama gets started early and in the end zone quick. Now these guys have got to build off of that. Hey, great throw and catch right here. Kind of throws a little play action pass in there. Comes in, hits him in stride. Good start right here for North Alabama.
Sam Contorno's extra point is through, and it's a quick start for North Alabama here in Hattiesburg. They get a fumble recovery on the opening kickoff, a penalty, and then a touchdown pass after that roughing the passer penalty on Cameron Harrell. 7-0 Lions. Now it feels like a reset for Southern Miss. What do they have to do now all of a sudden to kind of gain their composure? You said just a moment ago for them to settle down. What's got to happen for them to settle down?
So Coach Billings has just got to pull those guys over there and tell them, look, guys, just relax. We have answers to this. Now come out, trust the process. Let's get this offense going, and let's just relax. One of, I believe, Aaron Rodgers' key phrases, relax.
So a shot there, the North Alabama Lions. By the way, this receiving core, you'll hear us speak on them a little more later this afternoon. They feel they're their most talented bunch within the offensive unit. They'll rely on 4 redshirt juniors that all came in the same recruiting class together for Chris Willis's North Alabama club. Sam Contorno changes hashes, and he's set to kick it away again. Line drive kick. This is going to be taken by Antoine Robinson. Robinson's got some room up across the 40-yard line. And that's where Antoine Robinson, the junior out of Canton, Mississippi, will be tackled down. We'll see the Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles starting offensive unit for the first time. Yeah, 3 fumbles for Southern Miss in their last 2 games. 2 of them have come from that kick return unit. There's a great look at Trey Lowe III, the 6'2", 218-pound redshirt sophomore out of Collierville, Tennessee. Pistol formation and a hard count. Handoff and going down. That was a nice play made. That was the defensive tackle coming in. Mike Boykin making a stop on Frank Gore Jr. on the opening play.
So Boykin kind of shoots through that A gap and gets back there to Gore.
So they'll move Gore to the left of Trey Lowe III, making his first career start as a Southern Miss Golden Eagle. Trey Lowe up top, going up top, man coverage and good coverage along that far sideline. That was the corner running step for step. They were going up top to Jason Brownlee. That was Kyrie Fields, the strong safety for this Lion group with the coverage.
So, Jason, North Alabama comes in and plays that exact same defense that Rice had a lot of success with last week. They come and show a one-high safety and press both receivers outside. Just kind of overthrown them, and just, North Alabama took advantage of that mistake.
Yeah, that's Kyrie Fields with the interception. My apologies on the call. I never saw him come down with the football. He was facing entirely away from us on the live shot. That's my bad to Mr. Kyrie Fields, the junior who's making a return to his home state out of Columbus, Mississippi. So here we go with the Lion offensive unit one more time. A 12-yard touchdown pass for Blake Deaver just a moment ago. 7-0 North Alabama. Sort of a wild start in Hattiesburg today. Deaver moving to his left. Deaver now, he's not a guy that's going to run. He'll go down for a sack on the play, making the sack for Southern Miss. That was Eric Kitchen dropping Blake Deaver. Great shot at Eric Kitchen there.
So great job by USM secondary, allowing Deavers to step up in the pocket, and you just don't have that much time as a quarterback. Now he kind of steps up and move around, and Sykes gets him moving out of that pocket. Looks like if we can keep Devers in that pocket, we're going to have a lot of success with the Southern Miss defense.
Giving half a credit as well to Terrence Cherry, the freshman out of West Point, Mississippi, who's getting the start at defensive end today. Here's a pass to Little across the middle, and Little will be dropped after a pickup of only 3. They like Andre Little. Andre Little, a guy 5'11", 174. How about this? He hails from Anchorage, Alaska. Made his way all the way to Florence, Alabama.
He has come a long way, and I guarantee you it's a lot warmer here than it is in Alaska today.
So 3rd down and long. First time Southern Miss has put North Alabama in a 3rd down and long situation on the year. North Alabama, who's played just 2 ball games this season, 10 of 27 on 3rd down conversion for 37%. They'll go from a spread formation, 4 wide receivers. Got to watch the man in the slot. That's Parker Driggers, who's in the slot to the top of your screen. And a timeout called. That'll be a timeout taken by the North Alabama Lions. 7-0 North Alabama on a 12-yard touchdown pass to Andre Little. And so with this timeout, I guess they sense having all the momentum, it's time to talk about a 3rd down opportunity early in this ball game.
It is, and Southern Miss kind of comes up and shows press a little bit on those outside receivers. Now right before they called a timeout, they started to back out a little bit, but they're showing a 1 high safety. So it's interesting to see if Southern Miss's defense coordinator, Coach Peck, is going to make an adjustment to that and maybe throw a little 2 high look and maybe roll down to that 1 high look.
And is it expected today, I guess, with Deaver not necessarily a threat to run? I'm assuming we're expecting to see more pressure from the Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles, try to get Deaver off his spot.
That's what I'm gonna go with.
So we'll see.
The good thing with Southern Miss, that last play, they kept everything in front. So if they can keep Boykin in and not have to worry about his scrambling ability, it's going to give these linebackers a little bit more freedom to run.
Yeah, 3rd down and 15 is the official down and distance. Jack Peavy will be here to the bottom of your screen. Also, Andre Little joins him as well on the near sideline to the Southern Miss sideline. Deaver in the shotgun. That's Jawan Howell in the gun to his left. Andre Little across the formation. Deaver straight back. Deaver now forced out of that pocket again, and he will have very little gain, if any at all. Being chased there for Southern Miss. That was Hayes Maples making the first initial pressure to flush him out of the pocket for Southern Miss. Sets up a 4th down and 13. Here's another look.
So they do a great job of getting Devers out of the pocket. And again, the secondary of Southern Miss is staying on these receivers and not allowing them to get the ball downfield.
So Joe Gurley to punt it away. A 40.38-yard average on his punts thus far. And Southern Miss was coming after that one, nearly blocked. Fair catch is called for and taken for Southern Miss. That was Natron Brooks. North Alabama leads it in Hattiesburg early, 7-0. Golden Eagle offense when we return on ESPN.
One direction, straight to the top. Chosen one, racing the clock. They can't keep up, but you can solve. One direction, straight to the
For 25 years, Conference USA student athletes have done things the only way that we know how, the CUSA way. In that quarter of a century, we've learned a thing or two about winning, both on and off the field. Our student athletes are more than just great athletes. They're fantastic students. and they're outstanding citizens who give back to their communities. We're committed to excellence. We are stronger together. That's the CUSA way.
The workplace is changing in ways we never predicted. Get the instruction you need to be ready for it with a degree from the University of North Alabama. UNA is Alabama's workforce development university. We understand that your marketability is more important now than ever. Ensure your path to the future is in your hands. Go to una.edu/UNAWorks.
Mental health affects us all, whether you finish first or last.
Whether you win or lose.
The stigma around these issues causes those around us to suffer in silence.
Mental health is nothing to be ashamed of.
You are not alone.
You are not alone. As a student athlete,
As a teammate,
As a friend.
We pledge to continue the conversation.
because it matters.
Because you matter. Stand up to the stigma.
stand up.
Stand up.
Continue the conversation.
You are not alone.
7-0. North Alabama leads it early in this one. And Dustin, a wild start for Southern Miss. A fumble on the opening kickoff. And then on Trey Lowe's opening pass, it was a poor job of me of not recognizing that Fields had made the INT. It was sort of a weird angle, but on his first throwing attempt, an interception as well. For this Golden Eagle offense, what do they have to do to get started?
So they have got to stop thinking. They have to stop thinking about what just happened. They have to really focus on this play, then the next play. They really just have to relax, calm down, and focus on what's at hand now.
So you see that's Grayson Gunner across the formation in motion. Frank Gore Jr. to the left of Trey Lowe. Read option, and he is stopped away. There's not a lot of room early in this one on that defensive line that we talked about from the Lions, really kind of making their impact. We've already seen 91 Mike Boykin make a play. We featured Wallace Cowens Jr. To start, and there you see Frank Gore Jr. Just not a lot of room, Dustin.
So we talked about it a little bit earlier. These guys have been sitting for the last 2 weeks practicing each other. Now they get to see a different color across from them, and now they get to show what they have.
An audible for Southern Miss. Lions showing blitz as they walk a man to the line of scrimmage. Low pressure coming, and he'll complete the pass to DeMarcus Jones. But a good tackle made for the Lions that was coming up. That was Kamayan Fagans who made the stop on DeMarcus Jones.
Nice little pitch and catch right here by Trey Lowe. That'll give him a little bit of confidence. Now he can relax and get this Southern Miss offense going.
Kristen Taylor was the man bringing the pressure. That's the linebacker 25. You see him standing right in the middle of your screen. They really like Taylor, an athletic linebacker. Feel he's probably their best player on defense. Third down opportunity on 3rd and 6. Trey Lowe will step up in the pocket, and he's going down. A sack, and it's Mike Boykin who makes another tackle for loss play behind the line of scrimmage, and a 3-and-out for the Golden Eagle offense.
So this is what we talked about early on, keys to the game. North Alabama is starting to get after Trey Lowe and cause some serious damage for the Southern Miss offense.
So Griffin Fleming set to punt it away. Fleming will stand back at his own 18-yard line. It's Jack Peavy back deep to receive this punt for North Alabama. Fleming gets it to Peavy. Late signal, but he makes the fair catch right at the 27-yard line. That's where Blake Deaver in his offense, who's got a 12-yard touchdown pass already one time in this offensive football game for North Alabama. Blake Deaver, ironically enough, is making a return to Hattiesburg. Did you know he made his initial collegiate debut? His first career start was in this very building. That was back during the 2016 season. He came in as a quarterback for Savannah State, started as a true freshman. That was a ball game where the Golden Eagles were led by now San Francisco 49er Nick Mullins. That was a 56-0 win for Southern Miss. So Blake Deaver trying to have a little redemption in Hattiesburg today. Deaver in the gun. He'll motion over Jacoby Bird. That's across the formation. Play action pass again, and it is caught in a missed tackle up on that top sideline on that far side to Dexter Boykin, the redshirt junior who's a great-looking kid, 6'3", 188 out of Fairfield, Alabama.
And this Boykin really stood out to us in pregame. We know a lot about these receivers here for North Alabama, that they are their playmakers. Coach couldn't talk highly enough about them in our interview on Thursday. Boykin gets the ball early.
Parker Driggers motions out of the backfield. Driggers a guy who's going to do it all. He may very well be, that's 81 Parker Driggers, he may very well be their backup quarterback today. They're without their regular backup in Rhett Files. They've had a 2-quarterback system. Deaver's not made it through a game this year. He was injured in the first game against Liberty. Here's a shovel pass, and boy, Deavers is popped. What a play by Southern Miss's Santrell Latham, the middle linebacker, coming up and setting the tone with a tackle for loss. See Latham watching right here, Dustin, coming right to your screen.
So Latham lined up, heads up on that slot, a little inside shade on that slot, and was able to get there and force the loss there in the backfield.
They've got Driggers in the backfield. They'll motion him out to an empty set. They're going to spread it around. They're not as committed to the run game as you would think. They lost their initial starting running back in fall camp. Here's a back shoulder throw that's caught. That's Dexter Boykin with the reception again to that North Alabama sideline to give his offensive unit an opportunity here on 3rd down and 7. Boykin's going to be a tough matchup. He's got the size, he's got the speed. He's caught a pass in all 22 games of his North Alabama career.
So, Jason, on that last play, they motion across the defense and allow Boykin backside one-on-one, which I think they really like that matchup, and I think that's going to be key today.
Deaver in the gun. That's another great look at that throw by Deaver. Deaver will step up in the pocket here. He will run and dive forward. I don't know. It'll depend on the spot exactly on where he will be placed down. He appears to be short by about 2 yards at the Lion 48-yard line. So Deaver chose, he doesn't do it a lot, he chose that time to go ahead and scramble, stepped up in the pocket, saw a lane, just didn't have the ability to get enough to convert for a Lion first down, and they will send Chris Willis, his punting unit, out. How about Chris Willis? 19 seasons in some form or fashion as a coach for the North Alabama Lions. He's in his 4th season as the head coach of North Alabama. A good punt off the foot of Joe Gurley that's going to drive back Natron Brooks, and that is where the Golden Eagles will take over when we return to Hattiesburg. You're watching Conference USA Football on ESPN. Great shot at M.M. Roberts Stadium here on the campus of the University of Southern Mississippi. Trey Lowe back out, manning this Golden Eagle offense. He's going to leave it in a handoff. That's D. Baker, the backup tailback, getting a carry for Southern Miss. So given a change of pace, in comes Frank Gore Jr., out goes D. Baker. But we were talking during the break, Dustin, we feel for this Southern Miss team, while the running game is a focus to begin to open up the passing game, they got to find guys like a Jason Brownlee. They got to find a way to get the ball into DeMarcus Jones, Antoine Robinson's hands.
They do, and the key now, I mean, North Alabama's really getting after this Southern Miss offensive front.
Yeah, there you see just that exact point. That was Wallace Cowens Jr. with the initial contact. Following up was Christian Taylor, the junior out of Hoover, Alabama, 25 for North Alabama. And Dustin, you're alluding to it. They have no fear on the back end at this point. They're bringing the pressure in their front four here, as you see, controlling the line of scrimmage.
They are, and you always hear you have to control, you have to get the run game going. You have to get the run game going. Southern Miss is struggling to get anything going at this point.
No Tim Jones yet. He's dressed on the sideline for the Golden Eagles, their top wide receiver. Here's Trey Lowe, the third. He's going to take it out. Just a modest pickup out to about the 12-yard line, and he will bring the Golden Eagle punting unit back out on the field. Right now, boy, a tip of the cap to this North Alabama Lions defense. They have held right now the Golden Eagles to about -3 yards exactly in this football game. Still no first downs for Southern Miss in the football game as well. Griffin Fleming on to punt it away. His first punt today was a 41-yarder. Jack Peavy, the wide receiver for the Lions, is back deep to receive this punt. Peavy initially calls for the fair catch. That was a good punt by Fleming. Good hang time. Great coverage by Cameron Harrell there to force Peavy to call for the fair catch. But you have mentioned the wide receiver unit for this Lions team earlier. We talked with Chris Willis earlier this week. There are 4 guys, 4 redshirt junior guys within that unit, all came in the initial recruiting class together, and they just have a chemistry about them. They felt confident their wide receivers would play well in this game today.
They did, and Coach Willis really talked about that those 4 guys are unselfish. They like to see each other really perform and really do well. So these guys are all about the team, and that's what he really, really liked about the skill unit for this team.
And you see it with Blake Deaver, 5 for 5 for 31 yards and a touchdown already in this football game. First rush attempt that was handed to a running back for North Alabama. That was Ron Thompson with the carry. Devin Thomas on the tackle that you see on your screen. They're a team that wants to be a little committed to the ground game. They only average 63 yards rushing so far through 2 ball games. Unfortunately for them, they lost their top tailback. That was Jackson Carson. They lost him to a knee injury back at the end of fall camp. To hand off to Ron Thompson again, who's making his return to his home state. He hails from Bassfield, Mississippi. About 45 minutes outside of Hattiesburg in Jeff Davis County. So a couple of rushes to Ron Thompson and allows a 3rd down and 3 here for North Alabama.
Besides the rough start by Southern Miss's defense, kind of being put into that bad field position, they've done a really good job of containing this North Alabama offense.
A wildcat formation. This is to be expected. They've done this a few times through 2 games. Parker Driggers is the quarterback. Blake Deaver is located at the bottom of your screen. Here's Driggers going straight ahead, and he's not going to pick up the first down. That was a great job up front for Southern Miss. Santrell Latham, the middle linebacker, in on the tackle. Also Terrence Cherry, the freshman D in on the stop as well. Both those guys kind of off to quick starts, and you'll see North Alabama forced to punt here on 4th down and 2.
So Jason, on that last play there, North Alabama comes with a lot of window dressing. Now, when I say window dressing, they come with a lot of motions, a lot of shifts to try to get that Southern Miss defense kind of off balance, try to get them guessing. Now, Southern Miss did a great job of filling their gaps and stopping the run.
So Joe Gurley set to punt it away. Atron Brooks is back deep to receive it, and it was a fake for North Alabama that is going to be wasted. I believe it's going to be a penalty flag. It appears to be our referee, Billy Williams.
Northern Alabama, their second. It'll be 30 seconds.
So they're going to grant the Lions the timeout ahead of the penalty. We talked with Chris Willis this week. They've had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. You asked him, how many trick plays do you have in your bag? He kind of chuckled. We were getting ready to see one right there.
We did, and I like that you mentioned that. They had 2 weeks off, so they've got to see what works against Southern Miss and what does not work against Southern Miss. Now, Coach Willis had mentioned something that he was going down to offense, and they were running a play, and he was kind of scratching his head saying, I haven't seen that play. And we kind of joked and laughed, Coach, with all this time that you've had off, is it almost like, the guys are playing PlayStation and let's take this out to the field. Maybe let's try to run this trick play or that trick play. And he kind of just laughed. He said, we have some in the bag, but again, we're not going to get too crazy with it.
And he mentioned as well, it's kind of funny, he said he went down at one point in practice and recognized they had an entire package that had been put in over this 2 week time. He said sometimes it can be a good thing, sometimes it can be a bad thing. And obviously they were getting ready to dial up a fake there. We'll see if they stay with the fake or if they choose to punt it away with Gurley, who's averaging 45 yards a punt in this game. And a driving punt here. This one's going to sail all the way. Take a Golden Eagle bounce into the end zone. Brooks chose not even to go attempt the fair catch. Will return to the University of Southern Mississippi with more Conference USA action on ESPN. We're back in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, 7-0 North Alabama. And Dustin, for 4 offensive possessions for Southern Miss, they have a fumble, kickoff, and interception, and back-to-back punts on their last 2 drives. It's a unit, though, that only finds itself down 1 score in this football game.
As we know, Southern Miss's schedule has been up and down this year. Of course, you know, they sit out a week. They don't play for 2 weeks. So they're used to the up and down. Now they find themselves in this ball game only down 7. Look, that's 1 play, and here the game can be tied up. So these guys have just got to play within themselves, trust the coaches, and just, again, focus on this play.
Trey Lowe III, the quarterback, making his Golden Eagle first career start. He'll leave it in the belly of Frank Gore Jr. Watch this guy go. Out across the 35, Frank Gore Jr. in space. And he's going to finally be pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line of North Alabama. And we talked about he may be today's most important Golden Eagle, and you see why there.
He does a great job of really getting up in that fit and following the butts of his O-lineman. It kind of kicks him back towards North Alabama's offense. This kid is special. Now, again, we talk about 1 play. It only took 1 play right there to get the momentum back and to get this offense now on the plus side of the field.
And here's Darius Mayberry. Look at this guy go. A spin move inside the 20. That last rush, by the way, for Frank Gore Jr., a 45-yard carry. And all of a sudden, now Southern Miss has found something in the ground game.
You could tell with the O-lineman, they're starting to get a little bit of swag going with them. Now, this is where they really turn up.
Bobbled handoff, bobbled exchange, the ball on the ground, and it is recovered by North Alabama's middle linebacker, Will Evans, the senior out of Haleyville, Alabama. That was just a bobbled exchange all the way around. Trey Lowe III didn't look like he had a great handle on the snap and on the exchange to Darius Mayberry.
So it looks like he kind of fumbled a little bit, and Mayberry had that top elbow that hit the ball, and then both guys go, you know, searching for it. North Alabama didn't give up on the play. Again, their backbone showed up there, that defensive line. Now, granted, they didn't cause the fumble, but they got back there and got the turnover.
So North Alabama scored on their opening possession of the game. They have punted on their last 3 offensive possessions. Blake Deaver in this football game, the quarterback, is going to leave it into the belly of his running back. That's Jawan Howell. And as well as North Alabama's D-line has played to start this game, you could probably say to make the same comment for this Golden Eagle defensive line as well.
The big guys have shown up today on both sides of the ball. Now let's see how they do on this drive. Again, they've done a great job of keeping this North Alabama offense in check.
So Deaver's still perfect in this football game, throwing the football. He's 5 of 5. Although their last 4 plays have all been rushing plays for North Alabama. That's Driggers motioned out to the slot. So the Miss showing man coverage. Deaver's going up top. That's Driggers who's got it on the diving catch. He beat the one-on-one coverage, and a nice play by the redshirt freshman out of Brantley, Alabama, making his 12th reception of the season for 34 yards.
So Southern Miss comes up on that last play, kind of man across the board. Great throw and great catch there by North Alabama.
Deaver out quickly to Dexter Boykin. Boykin's got a couple of receptions already in the game. That was his 3rd reception here. Here's another look at that last play.
So again, Southern Miss comes out in man. Great throw, great effort there. Great catch by the wide receiver.
Yeah, Driggers got behind strong safety Malik Shorts. We've got timeout on the field. 7-0 North Alabama. The Lions threatening when we return with more Conference USA action on ESPN. And we're back at the Rock and a look at this North Alabama wide receiving core as the Lions lead at 7-0. And Dustin, this receiving core we felt like would be the strength.
It has been for today. Devers is doing a great job of really getting the ball where the coverage dictates. He's not just honing in on one receiver, He's getting all these guys involved in the game. Now that makes it tricky for Southern Miss. They really can't just key one receiver or bracket one receiver. So North Alabama is doing a great job of getting everyone involved. Look for this running game to come along now that they're establishing this passing game.
So North Alabama threatening into the Golden Eagle territory down to the 38-yard line. That's Driggers again motioned out of the pocket. And this will be a pass that is caught on the far side by North Alabama. That's Patrick McCoffin, their 6'6", 200-pound senior wide receiver. So first down and 10 after that pickup for North Alabama. Deaver on a read option. He doesn't do this much. Going out and down, chopped down by Cameron Harrell out of bounds on a nice play by the Golden Eagle defensive back.
So North Alabama comes out with both receivers stacked. Again, just to throw a little window dressing, kind of get Southern Miss's defense looking around to see how they're going to respond. Just run a little zone read here. That defensive end comes down, allows Devers to pull it and runs out. Now he makes a big play of making the defensive line miss there in the backfield and converting for a 1-yard gain.
So they quickly break out of this huddle. They're going to go in their Wildcat set. They got the opportunity to get Deaver out on that sideline. This is Driggers, who was a quarterback in high school, out to his wide receiver, Andre Little, and he is going absolutely nowhere. What a play by strong safety Malik Shorts and linebacker Hayes Maples to snuff that play out.
Southern Miss does a great job. North Alabama comes out quick, shows them a formation they hadn't seen before. Great job by Southern Miss's secondary, staying focused on their assignments and coming down and making a big play. Here we are, 3rd and 10.
Yeah, big third down here for the Lions early in this game to try to continue momentum. Driggers again motioned down to the backfield. They love this empty set. They're going to quickly get it to Parker Driggers. Driggers trying to make a move. He breaks one tackle and will be forced out by Kyle Hemby, very close to a Lion first down. So here's another look. Malik Shorts has got to make this play to make sure that he doesn't get close to the first down, but a break tackle by Driggers, and he's going to be very close to stepping up to the line. Sets up a 4th down and 2. They mark him 2 yards short. Sam Contorno going to come on for the field goal attempt. It's going to be 29-yard field goal attempt. He's 1 for 1 on the year. And he's 2 for 2, and he has given the Lions a 10-0 lead in Hattiesburg today. We're coming back with much more action on ESPN. We welcome you back to Hattiesburg, Mississippi, 10-0 after the Sam Contorno 29-yard field goal for the North Alabama Lions. And right now the story early in this one is the dominating performance of the defensive line for the North Alabama Lions, and then just the lack thereof of the offensive production for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles.
North Alabama has done a great job containing the Southern Miss offense. Now, Southern Miss offense got going that last drive. Now they came down and had a mistake and kind of shot themselves on the foot, turning it over. North Alabama did a great job, one, of getting points out of that, but secondly, Southern Miss did a great job of keeping them out of the end zone to get 7.
Contorno, the redshirt freshman out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, the kicker with 2 field goals made on the season. That was his second just a moment ago. Brandon Hayes and Antoine Robinson back deep to receive for Southern Miss. They have chosen a sky kick that's going to be taken by TQ Newsome, the Utback, a former running back at Gulfport High School, and still confusion on that kickoff return team. As you're seeing, it was Newsome sort of pointing at Robinson to come take the kick, and Robinson allowed TQ Newsome to make the fair catch. That's a unit they got to get cleaned up. They've had 2 fumbles in the last 2 ball games from that unit, and then you can kind of see the confusion here, Dustin.
Well, he clearly makes it known now that it is a fair catch. Again, North Alabama had film from last week where Rice did this exact same thing to Southern Miss, and Rice was able to get the ball last week, just like North Alabama did early on in this game.
So first down and 10 for the Golden Eagle offense. That's Frank Gore Jr. behind Trey Lowe III. Play action pass. And this is going to be caught. That's Jason Brownlee, the big-time playmaker on the far side. Enough for a Golden Eagle first down.
Great job of Coach Kubik there, the offense coordinator for Southern Miss. Getting Brownlee out on the edge. I'm sorry, not Brownlee. Trey Lowe out on the edge. Just an easy, nice little pitch and catch. Get him a little bit of confidence going and get, again, the key to this drive is getting these receivers active.
So a trips formation to the top of the formation. That's Frank Gore Jr. to the left of Trey Lowe. By the way, that 45-yard rush for Frank Gore Jr., his season long. Trey Lowe III showing his running ability here, picking up a 12-yard gain for Southern Miss.
So Southern Miss is doing a great job of getting Lowe in this game, kind of getting his feelers out there and going. Great job there on the zone read, reading that DN coming down, pulling it, and making a big play with his feet.
Play action pass, got him out on the edge. He'll slide down. That was Christian Taylor, the outside linebacker, who was right in front of Trey. That was a good play, a heady play, not to try anything, with Taylor standing right in front of him. Trey Lowe III, a transfer out of West Virginia University. He's finished with 2 degrees from West Virginia, so he's a graduate student here at Southern Miss. He played for his dad in high school, so he's a coach's kid out of Collierville, Tennessee. Southern Miss 4 first downs in this football game today. They had 2 prior to this, 2 on this drive, and this play will be blown dead. The Lions were showing some A-gap pressure. Officiating crew having a discussion exactly who it's on. The Conference USA crew today. Our referee is Billy Williams, and he'll tell us the call.
Illegal snap on the offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty for the previous spot. Made second down.
I don't believe he meant 67. I believe he meant 57. And here's a look at Trey Clopton. Yeah, a little hesitation on that snap by the center, Trace Clopton, who's returning to action for the Golden Eagles. He's missed the last 3 ball games for Southern Miss. That's Cole Cavallo, the H-back to the right of Trey Lowe. A handoff here to Frank Gore Jr., and he is loose again. A spin move by Frank Gore Jr., and he's carrying a man with him down to the 36-yard line.
As we spoke about in pregame about Frank Gore Jr., this kid runs with passion. You talk about someone who loves the game of football. This young man right here loves to get after it.
Watch this move right here. Boy, yeah, he spun away from their best tackler in Christian Taylor. Darius Mayberry will check in after that run by Frank Gore Jr. He's to the right of Trey Lowe III. That's Mayberry in space. Darius is going to cut back left and get it down inside the red zone for the Southern Miss.
So, Jason, we noticed with North Alabama's defense, early on in the game, they were playing man across the board and playing playing 1 high safety. Now they're showing 2 high safeties, which gets a man out of the box and allows this running game in favor of Southern Miss to have man-on-man and actual get these guards up on these linebackers and allowing them to make these big plays.
Mayberry, a young man who's been plagued with injuries early in his Golden Eagle career. Boy, he looks great and healthy now. Right here, gobbled up and stopped. That was a nice play by Broderick Martin. The redshirt junior out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, had 43 tackles a year ago for the North Alabama Lions. Martin playing that nose tackle position today for North Alabama, had slid over to a nose tackle position. Southern Miss taking a bit of a time here on the play call this time. Mayberry stays in the ball game. That's Cavallo across the formation for Southern Miss. Hard count by Trey Lowe III. He's going up top to Brownlee, and this is out in front of Jason Brownlee, incomplete. I think Southern Miss might have believed they had a free play. There was some movement up front along the Lion defensive front, but no call. I think that's why Trey Lowe tried to take the shot to Brownlee in the end zone.
So, Jason, with Trey Lowe, he hasn't had many snaps in actual live game time in the red zone. Now, as a young quarterback or a quarterback that hadn't had many snaps, there's a lot of anticipation down here, and this is where the experience comes in, where you have to anticipate the windows are a little bit small, and you have to anticipate a little bit quicker to your receivers.
Design quarterback draw, and Trey Lowe III will bang his way inside the 5-yard line. 1+ for Southern Miss. They've been very good inside the red zone. 83% conversion rate. 19 to 23 possessions on the season inside the red zone have resulted in a score and a nice run here.
So again, motions Frank Gore out of the backfield, allows that linebacker to get out. Now, of course, Southern Miss has the favor. More men in the box, allowed to get Trey Lowe on that draw up the middle.
Well, a good call here by head coach Tim Billings, the interim, the third coach of this Golden Eagle team this season. He's going for it on a 4th and short with the ball at the 4-yard line of North Alabama. Big Kevin Perkins will take the handoff, and Perkins is going to push his way forward. And we'll have to wait and see exactly on the spot. The initial indication is a first down for Southern Miss. We'll see if they stay with that spot. Southern Miss could pick up a first down at the 2-yard line, and the ball clearly marked inside the 2-yard line from what we can see. Sorting out this unit, and they indicate first down. Going to stay with the same formation as Southern Miss. That's Perkins who's in. Perkins, the redshirt senior, will be chopped down right at the 1. That was a nice tackle made for North Alabama coming in. That was Jacob Cummings, the sophomore out of Auburn, Alabama, who got big Kevin Perkins on the ground. Perkins, a 6-foot, 234-pound running back.
So this is where the war in the trenches is made right here. As we know, Southern Miss has a great offensive line. North Alabama has a great defense. Who wants it more here? Now it's all based on leverage. Who can lower man wins, and who wants it more?
Trey Lowe will go under center for the first time today. He'll leave it to Perkins out of an I formation, and Perkins lost the football as he crossed the plane, but they'll say he's in. A touchdown, Kevin Perkins on a 1-yard touchdown run. Put the Golden Eagles on the board. Perkins in for the last 3 carries of that drive.
So great series there by Southern Miss, getting the running game going. Of course, it all started with that big Frank Gore Jr. run there at the beginning. Again, once the O-lineman kind of gets the running game going, they start to get a little bit of swag about them, Jason. It's you know, they walk with their chest out and really get things going. And this allows those running backs now to see the holes a little bit better. It allows the receivers to start feeling a little bit more confident in what they're doing. And this takes all the pressure off of Trey Lowe.
Bourgeois converts the extra point. 10-7. North Alabama leads it over Southern Miss. More action to come from Hattiesburg. We're back in M.M. Roberts Stadium after the 1-yard Kevin Perkins touchdown run, and another look at it here, Dustin, as you saw 58 rushing yards on that drive for Southern Miss. Let's take a look.
So, Jason, all 3 running backs got into that drive. Now, Trey Lowe had some big runs as well and had a big pass out on the outside, but all 3 running backs on that drive got active and had big Perkins get it in the end zone.
Yeah, you see him. He clearly crossed the plane before the ball came out. Perkins on the year. That was his 3rd rushing touchdown on the season for Southern Miss. A guy who last year got himself into that starting lineup. You remember the big run he had against UTSA in the Alamo Dome a year ago for Southern Miss. Briggs Bourgeois, who converted the extra point, will handle the kickoff here for Southern Miss. And a driving kick, boy, a beautiful kick off the foot of Bourgeois out the back of the end zone here at the Rock. And all of a sudden now it's Southern Miss with a little momentum in their corner After that Perkins touchdown, they cut the lead down to 3 points. 10-7 North Alabama leads it. The Golden Eagle defense will take to the field when we return on ESPN. We're back in M.M. Roberts Stadium, 10-7 North Alabama. They have a 3-point lead, and there you see a great shot at Jack Abraham and Trey Lowe III discussing the Golden Eagle offense on that sideline, Dustin.
So, Jason, as we know, it all comes with senior leadership. As we know, Jack Abraham is one of the seniors on this team. And this is, he kind of considers it his offense. But it's good to see him over there talking to Lowe, kind of giving him some advice, letting him know what he sees. That's always great leadership to see out of that young man.
So Blake Deaver in the North Alabama offense. We've seen this empty set where they motion Driggers out of the backfield. Here they bring a shovel pass to Andre Little across the formation, and the Golden Eagle defense did a fantastic job. That was Eric Kitchen, the defensive tackle, making the stop and initial contact behind the line of scrimmage. Going to be a loss on the play for North Alabama.
So Kitchen does a great job of setting the edge right there, not allowing UNA to get outside and forcing everything back into his big guys for a loss of 2 there.
North Alabama's last offensive drive was 8 plays, 65 yards. It resulted in that 29-yard field goal by Sam Contorno. Their previous 3 drives had only lasted 10 plays. All of them were punts prior to that 29-yard field goal. Deaver stands in the pocket, stands tall. He will fire it. It is caught a one-handed catch by Jacoby Bird, and he is leveled. The Golden Eagle defense, Cameron Harrell, comes up to make that stop for Southern Miss.
So great job of the corner down here. Now Devers should have gotten this crossing route to him a lot quicker. You got the corner sitting out here in coverage, guarding his man, which his man has now been passed on to the safety. The corner sitting here in the flats and allows him to get a big hit.
Boy, Harrell made Bird pay for that 1-yard catch. 3rd down and 13. Crowd in the Rock today getting loud. Deaver in the shotgun with Howell, his running back, to his left. Here's our referee, Billy Williams.
Full start on the offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
It's going to be on the right guard. Boy, they barely had enough time to get set on that false start penalty. And the Lions going the wrong way. A 3rd down and 18. Now facing North Alabama in this football game. So far on 3rd downs, they're 0 for 4 in the football game. Southern Miss standing up on their front 4. Here's a pass out to the running back. That's Jawan Howell, and he's going nowhere. Hayes Maples in on the stop. And boy, that was the best possession yet for the Southern Miss Golden Eagle defense.
So in this last play, Southern Miss does a great job of only rushing 3. Kind of gets Devers moving in the pocket a little bit, rushing that throw. Southern Miss secondary keeps everything in front and keeps them out of range of getting that 1st down.
Natron Brooks back for Southern Miss to receive this punt. Set to punt it away for North Alabama. Joe Gurley, their punter, who's having a fantastic day, has a long punt of 46 yards. And he has hit a beauty here that's going to drive Brooks back to the 33-yard line. Brooks has got a little space here to the near sideline. Brooks still on his feet and across midfield. A 18-yard return by Natron Brooks for Southern Miss. That's where Trey Lowe III and his offensive unit will take over. Now if you're Southern Miss, Dustin, you've got a little momentum. The defense with their best possession of this 1st half. And after that last score by Kevin Perkins, now what kind of confidence does this offensive unit come back out on the field with?
So, Jason, they've established the run. That is key to Southern Miss's offense. They've established the run, which now allows them to do some play-action passes. Expect this drive for them to get these receivers going. Again, Trey Lowe has finally calmed down and has a little bit of confidence in this offense. Let's see what Coach Kubik has dialed up in this series.
Frank Gore III, the running back. Here's a shovel pass to Antoine Robinson. Robinson going to have a nice carry. 17 yards for Antoine Robinson to move the chains for Southern Miss.
Great job of Gore here setting up this block. Getting that guy out allows Robinson to cut up field.
Boy, and that shows his maturity, does it not? A freshman running back able to block on the edge like that and spring a wide receiver for Southern Miss.
As we talked about earlier, you couldn't sell me that kid is a freshman.
Trey Lowe the third in the shotgun. Here is Frank Gore Jr. and boy, another nice play by that front four for North Alabama. Getting off the pile, that was 21 for North Alabama coming up to make that play. That was Darrell Sims, the junior out of Bassfield, Mississippi. That was the Will linebacker who was playing down on the line of scrimmage on that play. Second down and 10. 6 carries, 58 yards for Frank Gore Jr. A fake reverse here. Gets around the corner, goes Frank Gore Jr. And he'll get it inside the red zone for Southern Miss. Inside the 15-yard line. The freshman out of Miami, Florida with a carry.
Great job here just getting North Alabama to stop their feet and getting Gore out on the edge. If you remember, Jason, last drive after the big run, this is what got Southern Miss's offense going to get him to the end zone.
Yeah, we mentioned a team that in Southern Miss who's been pretty good inside that red zone. Over 83% of the time they convert for a score. Trey Lowe III gave the wrong read that time, pulled it out of the belly of Frank Gore Jr. He's going to be dropped for a loss. Nice tackle made by 97 Ryan Taylor for the Lions. We do have a penalty flag on the field. Here's our referee, Billy Williams.
Offside on the defense, number 90. 5-yard penalty. Replay first half.
Southern Miss in their first 4 drives of this football game had 0 total yards. Their last 3 drives has them now leading in the total yard column with 169 yards in this football game so far. That was Grayson Gunner across the formation. Here's a handoff to Darius Mayberry. And boy, you see the strength of Mayberry. He gets popped right at the 2-yard line, but still fights forward down inside the 2-yard line, very close to a Golden Eagle first down. They can pick it up again inside the 2. No measurement. They will spot it just outside the 2-yard line. So it is a second down and short for Southern Miss.
It's everyone but the center. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Well, that's not what you need if you're the Golden Eagle offense. A false start to take you from a second down and 1 now to a second down and 6. It's a big moment of this first half. North Alabama gets the kickoff to start the second half. This is probably one of the more important possessions of this early portion of the football game for Southern Miss. Watch Brownlee here to the bottom of your screen. Trey Lowe III keeps it himself and trying to get outside, and he can't. Nice open field tackle made. That was Jarrell Green who made that tackle on Trey Lowe III out in open space. He wasn't even listed on the 2-deep chart for North Alabama, but they're going to their bench a little bit to put some guys in and give them an opportunity. And now you're looking at a third down here in about 5. That was a 1-yard gain by Trey Lowe III on second down. Empty set. That's Gunner, the tight end, left. And we're going to have a offsides penalty. Trey Lowe has done a good job. He has mixed up his snap count. I think they can tell North Alabama's really got some get off on that front 4 for their defensive line unit. So he's having to mix up their snap count just to keep them honest, Dustin.
He has. He's done a great job. And and Jason, when you look up and you see man across the board, now I say man across the board, you see best on best right here. They've got everyone walked up on that defense. And as a quarterback, you know where you want to go, but you just got to be patient and let it come to you.
Quite a lengthy discussion amongst the officiating crew. You did have movement on the Southern Miss side of things. Khalik Washington, the left tackle, had moved. He was on the opposite side where the movement came from North Alabama. And here's our referee, Billy Williams.
False start on the offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
Yeah, Tim Billings is going to need an explanation. I don't think Tim saw Khalik on that far side. There was clear movement up front early. The Lions were coming with a blitz. The player got into the neutral zone. You'll look at it here. And then you see Washington move. The only way that they could call that a false start is to say that player was not in the neutral zone. Coming with the pressure. So another penalty. It's now what was 2nd down and 1 is now 3rd down and 10. Trey Loke going up top to DeMarcus Jones, and that pass is incomplete. There were double coverage over there for the North Alabama Lions, and that'll bring the field goal unit on for Southern Miss. This was the hero of the game last week, or the star of the game last week for the Golden Eagles. Their field goal kicker had the only point for this Southern Miss offense, and Briggs Bourgeois. He had 2 field goals in that game against Rice last week. Looks like the Lions of North Alabama are going to use a timeout here with 55 seconds left to play in the second quarter. That tells you the confidence Chris Willis has in his ball club. He's going to give some time or want some time on that clock to give his offensive unit an opportunity possibly to try to get a 2-for-1, a score before the half, and they get the kickoff to start the second half as well, Dustin.
They have. What stuck out on that drive, Jason, Southern Miss was able to get down inside their 2-yard line. North Alabama rose to the challenge. Now they had Southern Miss kind of shot themselves in the foot with a couple minor mistakes there, a little false start. Got them in 3rd and long now. Southern Miss's field goal units out here to kick a field goal. Great job there of North Alabama winning the battle of the trenches.
Bourgeois on the year is 8 of 10. This will be a 28-yard field goal. Peyton Snyder will be the holder. Had a great conversation with Briggs earlier this week. He's really having an excellent year. Good snap, good hold, and this kick is blocked. North Alabama got through and got a hand on it for the Lions of North Alabama. 50 seconds to play before the half. We'll be back with the Lion offense when we return to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. You're watching college football on ESPN. We're live in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. North Alabama with the blocked field goal, and another look at it here. See Mike Boykin, I believe, is the young man who gets his hand on it. Boykin is the defensive lineman out of Carrollton, Georgia, who is 6'6", 290. He would be suspect A of the young man that we believe got their hand on it. And this is why Chris Willis chose to take that timeout. You see them, they're out in a spread formation. They're going to try to get a 2-for-1 here on an opportunity. Deaver pulls it out on an option play. This is going out to Jack Peavy. That was well played by Cameron Harrell. That's back-to-back possessions by Cameron of making big plays out on the edge, Dustin.
Great job of Cameron. 1, covering his receiver, but 2, keeping his eyes in the backfield and playing his man and focusing in on the keys there.
Our referee, Billy Williams, indicates timeout called by Southern Miss now. Tim Billings calling timeout. Be a 30-second timeout for the Golden Eagles, who, for all intents and purposes, Dustin, haven't played a very clean first half, but yet they only look up and find themselves down just 3 points. North Alabama may get into that halftime locker room if they can't get points here and realize they might have missed an opportunity to really extend this lead a couple times in this opening half.
So, Jason, coming into this game, we've heard about the Southern Miss offense. The Southern Miss offense. When's the Southern Miss defense going to show up? They have done a great job today with the mistakes that the Southern Miss offense has had and the special teams. Southern Miss's defense is kept in this game and has allowed it to stay a 3-point ball game.
Ron Thompson, the running back in on this series for North Alabama. Deaver's got some plus arm strength. He's going to leave it in the belly here of Ron Thompson, the senior out of Bassfield, and another timeout taken by Southern Miss here as they had added some time back onto the clock. Now it's still 36 seconds on the game clock. So it's going to set up a 3rd down and 8. Southern Miss still with 1 timeout left. No timeouts left for the Lions of North Alabama. I don't know that they anticipated Southern Miss using their timeouts here to try to end this first half, but that's exactly what Tim Billings has chose to do. And Dustin, you know, Tim Billings has been dealt a very tough hand. We had a conversation with him earlier this week. He talked about this being, he's been in coaching 42 years. This was no doubt one of the toughest coaching seasons he's had to endure thus far.
It is, Jason, and to see him talk about it, you know, we really don't sit there and think about what these young men are going through. Not to mention what the coach is going through. Coach started off as a position coach. Now he's an interim coach. So his role has changed. These kids, I just can't imagine what they're having to deal with in the classroom, at practice, post-practice, and now coming into a game. Are we going to play this week or are we not going to play this week?
So 3rd down and 8. Neither team has a 3rd down conversion in this game, and that trend will continue here. That's a nice play. That's Michael Plius coming up to make the tackle from the backside. He's a young man that's earned some more minutes for Southern Miss with his play. They will use their final timeout, will the Golden Eagles. So they actually get it stopped here with 33 seconds left in the first half. They're going to give Trey Lowe III at least an opportunity here to at least try to get some points on the board, maybe tie this ball game as we get ready to head towards the halftime locker room.
So, Jason, I wanted to point this out. Early on in the game, Southern Miss nearly blocked a punt for North Alabama. So I would imagine here in this huddle, they're kind of going over their game plan here for Southern Miss. Everyone's responsibilities. Expect for them to come after this punt and maybe try and get a big play before half.
Their punter for North Alabama, Joe Gurley, he's having a good day. He's had 4 punts for a 46.2-yard average. He's hit a long of 49. Tron Brooks just a moment ago on the last punt attempt had a return of 18 yards. He had a nice return crossing the field. The Miss indicating they're coming after it, as Dustin indicated, and boy, they nearly got there. Brooks is going to fair catch it at the 39-yard line. A penalty flag, though, back near where Gurley punted it away. Our referee, Billy Williams, with the call.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Number 31 of the receiving team. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic 1st down.
That's J.D. Rutherford, and you'll see it here. You just can't do that. That's what happens when you come after one, though. That's the byproduct. Now the cat and mouse game on either sideline begins here. Neither team has a timeout. You got 26 seconds left. If you're North Alabama, are you satisfied with a 3-point lead? Do you trust Deaver in this wide receiving core to see if they can get behind Southern Miss and maybe steal a possession, steal some points here before the half? Or if you're Chris Willis, are you just happy with the 3-point lead and try to take it into the halftime locker room? We'll see the choice here from his football team. He trusts this team. You could catch that wind of that in our conversation with him earlier this week. Got some deep threats as well. One of them being Dexter Boykin there at the bottom of your screen. Play action pass. They're going up top. Look at this. Blake Deaver will get it down the field to Andre Little. Did he get his foot in? No, he did not. Back judge says he doesn't get a toe down. Little trying to plead his case. We'll look at it here. Oh, boy. If they take a look at it, you may have a catch. That is a heck of a play by Andre Little. The only thing that we would have to judge is did he maintain possession all the way to the ground out of bounds. No indication yet if they're taking a look. They'll run it through the replay booth, but no stoppage of play. We'll continue on 2nd down and 10. Blake Deaver Going to change the play. He's looking to that Lions sideline. So that's how much Chris Willis trusts his team. We said that he would take a shot like that to Andre Little. Here's a handoff to Ron Thompson. Clock actually never started on the play. It's still sitting at 26 seconds here inside the stadium. On your screen, you can see it winding down. And that's it from Hattiesburg today. 10-7 FCS versus FBS. The Lions lead it by 3. Welcome back to M.M. Roberts Stadium, better well known as The Rock, here on the campus of the University of Southern Mississippi. 10-7 your halftime score. The North Alabama Lions have come in to Hattiesburg with a 3-point lead. A look at the Conference USA standings. The Western Division got turned upside down last Saturday evening with the upset win. Louisiana Tech knocked off UAB. And a look across that Western Division, boy, they're awfully kind of jumbled up. A look into the East, Marshall appears to be the real deal for Doc Holliday's crew. They're 5-0, 3-0 in Conference USA, nationally ranked as the Thundering Herd. Florida Atlantic as well with a couple big ball games. Florida Atlantic and Western Kentucky playing a little later tonight down in Boca Raton. 10-7 your halftime score at M.M. Roberts Stadium. We'll be back with much more from the half here in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. The Lions lead it over the Golden Eagles 10-7. We'll be back with more action of Conference USA football on ESPN. And we're back in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, M.M. Roberts Stadium. Southern Miss in North Alabama this afternoon. I'm Jason Baker. Dustin Allman, our color analyst, with us. The 10-7 ball game at the half. And Dustin, well, when you look at it, North Alabama got the start they wanted to this game. Maybe they didn't get the finish to the first half they wanted, maybe to be able to stretch that lead out. For Southern Miss, their defensive unit has kept them in this first half.
Their defensive unit has stayed after it. The good thing is, like you had mentioned, North Alabama got off to a hot start. Now, Southern Miss didn't fold up their tent. They continued to fight. Southern Miss's defense is why they're in this football game. When you look at it from that defensive perspective, what was it they did in that first half that allowed them to stay in the ball game? They covered receivers. They limited North Alabama to running the football. They did not allow them to run the football. Southern Miss got the running game going, and, of course, time was in their favor. Yeah, quick look at the first half highlights. Now, this was the opening play for them, and this was a pass to Andre Little that was in for a score. You see Little there celebrating. Here was another look at the Southern Miss touchdown run by Kevin Perkins. Clearly crossed the goal before the ball had popped out of his grasp. This was the look at the missed opportunity. Could have been a tie ball game, but Mike Boykin gets the hand on the Bourgeois field goal. That was a missed opportunity, clearly, for Southern Miss to tie this football game up. 10-7 North Alabama at the half. We'll be back with much more Conference USA football on ESPN. Your first half statistics on the screen. 10-7 North Alabama. That's the score. You look at the difference in the rushing yards, 143 to 16. Passing game's working for North Alabama a little bit, but as Dustin alluded to, the secondary for Southern Miss might have helped them get back in this football game, holding them just to 93 yards passing. What jumps out at you, Dustin, when you look at this stat sheet? So what jumps out? That number 16 rushing yards right there for North Alabama. You know, yes, they are doing a great job of controlling the clock, but again, that 16, they've got to get the rushing game going to allow this passing game of theirs, these four receivers, to get going downfield and to get some man matchups. And we featured the defensive line of the Lions in the pregame segment of this broadcast this afternoon. Maybe it was the defensive front of Southern Miss. Terrence Sherry, the freshman, we've seen him in on a few plays. Eric Kitchen may be playing his best ball game of the season, the defensive tackle for Southern Miss. And Coach Peck has done a great job. I think those guys came into this week expecting to have a big game. And I think that's key. When you can come into a game with confidence. Now, I know they were shaking a little bit last week, but they came in this week with a game plan versus North Alabama, and they've done a great job executing. What's got to happen on third down? 0 for 6 for North Alabama, 0 for 4 for Southern Miss. Neither team has converted a third down in this ball game tonight. they've got to get themselves into manageable third downs. Now, I say manageable, I'm talking 3rd and 4. We've seen them a lot of times behind the chains due to big penalty yards, allowing them to kind of get back and allowing both defenses to keep the offense in front of them and to keep them from going downfield.
Take us into that halftime locker room. You're a former quarterback for the Golden Eagles. What is going through Trey Lowe's mind right now within the locker room, and maybe what does he have to take from that locker room into this second half if Southern Miss is going to get a win?
So Trey Lowe came out of those last 2 drives. Granted, they have the rushing game going with 143 yards, but he is starting to get that confidence. Now, Coach Kubik, the offense coordinator for Southern Miss, is starting to learn how to call a game for Trey Lowe and knows what he can do now. Again, this running game has been big for Southern Miss.
Take us into the North Alabama locker room, an FCS team. They're in the 4-year conversion period, transitioning into Division I football. Right now, they're a member of the Big South Conference in football. For Chris Willis's club, what's the locker room like, the mood in the locker room, and maybe what do you feel he's telling his team that they've got to take onto the field if they're going to steal a win in Hattiesburg today?
So if I'm Coach Willis, I'm standing in front of this team. Look, guys, we have Southern Miss right where we want them. We are up on them 10-7. Look, guys, we are where we want to be. We're not chasing the lead. We understand where we are offensively. We know what we can, and they haven't got their weapons going offensively. Expect them to do a little bit more rub routes versus that man coverage versus Southern Miss, and I think they're going to take a couple more shots downfield, and we have yet to see that trick play.
Yep, that's right. We saw them attempt one, but it wound up being negated by a penalty. They lead 10-7. Military Appreciation Day here at the Rock. Southern Miss in their reflective military uniforms. They've got an American flag logo styled eagle head on the side of those black helmets, black tops, and the white pants. We want to thank all those who have served our country, and we hope you enjoy the rest of this broadcast today. 10-7 North Alabama. We return with the second half in Hattiesburg, Mississippi on ESPN. As we head to the third quarter, it'll be North Alabama football to start this third quarter. For Southern Miss, Dustin, the guy we highlighted to start the broadcast, I would tell you, is still the man that I would feel would have to play well in this second half. That's freshman running back Frank Gore Jr., and here's a look at him.
And Frank Gore really got this offense going, and this was one of the big runs, the big play as you want to describe it. They got the Southern Miss offense going. Now, again, they got down again inside North Alabama's 5-yard line with another big run started off by Frank Gore Jr.
We've highlighted him a couple of times in the first half. It's not just the running ability. We saw him on a block as well that sprung his teammate Antoine Robinson on a carry earlier in that first half. It really is that presence that just doesn't make him feel like a freshman that's really got him such an integral role within this offense, is it not?
It is, and I was going to tell you, we hit on that earlier, the fact that this kid is a freshman, but he plays like a senior. And the key thing that I really like about Frank Gore Jr. is he is a leader. He is the one that's getting this offense going. He is the big hitter for this, this backfield of Southern Miss.
As we look to North Alabama, obviously they're pleased with the score at the moment, 10-7. But we talked about early in the broadcast possibly the delay that they've had over 2 weeks. What would the conditioning be like? How did they simulate practice? And you've got a great story Chris Willis shared with us on who they mimicked in that 2-week bye week.
So they mimic a head coach for Alabama. What's his name?
Nick Saban.
Nick Saban. So we used Nick Saban's kind of philosophy. Let's go best on best. Let's go one-on-ones. Let's really kind of mimic that game speed. Now, and like Coach Willis and I had kind of talked a bit about, is there is no comparison to game speed. And that's what North Alabama came out early, hit him in the mouth early, and just kind of fell off. So really conditioning in the second half is going to be key.
And I guess you won't know till you get out there in this third and fourth quarter whether the simulation of good on good, speed on speed, what that conditioning did for this football team. We're fixing to find out here in Hattiesburg. 10-7 North Alabama. They lead it by 3. Bourgeois will handle the kickoff duties. He's going to spot it just inside the far hash. Andre Little, the playmaker for the Lions, who's got a touchdown reception in this football game, will be back deep for Chris Willis's ball club. Look, this is an FCS versus FBS matchup, if you will, today, but this is no team, no stranger to winning. They are a team just littered within a winning culture. They had a one losing season since 2002. That was back in 2019. Last year, they were 4-7. They were the second winningest program in Division II as we get ready to start the second half. Another great kick by Briggs Bourgeois through the back of the end zone without a return. What a job by Briggs Bourgeois kicking off. But second winningest program in Division II, 3 national championships over the last 30 years. Listen to this. Last 30 years within the state of Alabama, only Alabama has a higher winning percentage amongst their program. Alabama has won 73.4% of their games. North Alabama 70.3%. That's over the last 30 years. This is a program littered in culture. They felt like they would come in today with a chance to win, and they've given themselves that.
They have, and it all starts today with Dever. Dever came out in the last half 12 for 12, passing with 1 incomplete on that last final drive. So put him in after this half, 12 of 13.
They come out and run the football in the opening play of this second half. They talked about the commitment to the ground game. They really need to get some form of that ground game going if they're going to open up their passing attack. I think what you saw was Southern Miss even go to a 3-man rush, begin to drop 8, and it was really giving some problems to Blake Dever of finding the open receiver.
Everything, again, starts up front, Jason, with this O-line of North Alabama. How are they going to come out in the second half and kind of put their stamp on things?
Jacoby Bird, the wide receiver across the formation for the Lions. Play action pass. They're going out to Dexter Boykin. Had a couple of catches in the opening half, 3 of them to be exact. That's his 4th reception today. Moves the change for the North Alabama Lions. Boykin, a big target, 6'3". We talked about he's caught a pass in every game of his Lion career.
So, Jason, that first play, they come out and get 5 on the running game and then come back with a little play action, get it out in Boykin's hand. It looks like they are wanting to get it in his hand to get the second half going.
They're going up tempo as well. They're going with a more faster pace style of play to start this second half to try to set the tone. Remember, it was a great start for the Lions, a disastrous start for Southern Miss to this ball game. Here you see another replay on that last little tunnel screen, if you will, out to Dexter Boykin here on this near sideline. They've got their tight end in. This is one of the favorite targets of Blake Dever. Corson Swan, he's in that slot formation, standing right on the R of Southern here at M.M. Roberts Stadium. Parker Driggers motioned out of the backfield. They did that a lot in the first half. Pressure coming and applied by Southern Miss. Dever going to get out of it and slide down in front of Hayes Maples, a yard shy of the first down. Southern Miss has gotten to Dever a couple of times today to flush him out of the pocket. It's not what he wants to do. He is a pro-style quarterback with a big arm, and you'll see what they choose to do here on 3rd down and 1.
Jason, Coach Rice, the offense coordinator for UNA, has done a great job today of showing some motions. Now, when an offense motion, it forces the defense to kind of force their hand as to what they're doing. Dever being a senior.
Here's that Wildcat formation, and boy, the Golden Eagles, for our perspective, appear to have made the stop, although the spot is indicating a first down. That is the first 3rd down conversion of this football game for North Alabama. That was Parker Driggers. They, as Dustin alluded to, they use a lot of motion. They use that Wildcat formation. Driggers is kind of a dangerous utility tool, if you will, for them within this offensive unit. He was a high school quarterback. He played running back in high school. He's signed as a wide receiver here, but there you see him utilizing it from that Wildcat position as the quarterback of this Lion offense. Blake Dever here will give it to his running back, and he is met right at the point of exchange by Santrell Latham. The tackle by the Golden Eagle middle linebacker makes a big loss of 4 yards to that Lion offense.
Great job here by Coach Peck bringing the blitz from the boundary, bringing 2 outside. Now, when you're running the zone read option, it's kind of hard to read both of those guys. He's got to give it to the running back, and the running back's got to get what he can get and get out of there.
Latham having a fantastic year as a debut year. The redshirt junior getting the starting nod in each ball game this year. Already over 40 tackles on this football season. Just playing fantastic as Santrell Latham. This is Deaver under pressure. He's going down, and the ball came loose. That's Dominic Kiwan who got the pressure. He'll get credit for the sack, a fumble loss, and recovered by North Alabama. Kiwan, first time we've called him today. This is the rush in, and you see him just rip around, and look at this play.
Great job by both ends there, setting the tone and meeting there at the quarterback.
Yeah, Dominic Kiwan, well, he had a fantastic fall camp. They expected big things from him. They've seen him so far this season. That was his third sack on the season of Blake Deaver. Deaver going to leave it to Ron Thompson, the running back from Bassfield. And boy, Thompson is whacked. What a play out of that defensive unit for Southern Miss. That was Tyler Barnes, the senior from d'Iberville, making the stop on Ron Thompson. And we'll see Joe Gurley, the punter for North Alabama.
Jason, this is something we didn't see last week from Southern Miss Golden Eagles defense. They're flying around, showing a little bit of motion, getting the fans involved. Here they go, got the momentum, giving it back to their offense.
Natron Brooks back to receive for Southern Miss. He's had an 18-yard return already today on punt return. That has been his only return. Gurley has hit another one. Boy, he is fantastic today. He's averaged over 46 yards a punt. This one will go into the end zone, but what a punt off the foot of Joe Gurley. 9:36 in the third, 10-7 North Alabama. Back with more from Hattiesburg. Great shot of M.M. Roberts Stadium, Hattiesburg. Kind of a dreary Saturday afternoon here in the Pine Belt region. In our first look in the second half at this Golden Eagle offense. And in the break, Dustin, we just mentioned, you know, Trey Lowe only trusted to throw the ball 6 times in that opening half. But what he's really got to do is get it to those playmakers on the outside. Jason Brownlee, DeMarcus Jones, Antoine Robinson, and Tim Jones dressed today but not in action, at least in the first half. Can somebody from that wide receiving core make a play for their young QB?
I believe so. I think Brownlee's the guy we've noticed in these last few games that he's been the go-to guy. Let's see who they get here going in the second half.
Trey Lowe the third. It will be a read option play action, and boy, nearly threw a pick right on cue of us speaking to him, in and out of the hands. That was of the defensive back for North Alabama, who was trying to put his hands on it. That was Jeffrey Battle, who's returning into the starting lineup.
So here, Trey Lowe's got to have a little bit of urgency, a little bit more sense of urgency riding that mesh and getting the ball out on the slant. That way, one, if he does throw behind it, he's not hitting that guy, and if he leads him too much, he's running him into the free safety.
So second down and 10. This is Gore. Gore cuts back against the grain and has to fight for 2 yards. This defensive line, we mentioned it in the open. There was a reason why, but they're awfully good. Broderick Martin there on the tackle, 99. Wallace Cowens, the junior, as well, was the Wallace Cowens Jr., the senior out of Conyers, Georgia, that we featured. You see him right there on your screen, 10 with his hands on his hips. They're a talented front that's caused some problems today. They can pin their ears back here on a 3rd and 8. Southern Miss in the ballgame 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. North Alabama only rushing 3 here. That's Brownlee who will make the catch, going down at the 35-yard line. And he's the guy. He's the big play guy they got to get going.
He is the guy, and it all started up front right there with Southern Miss's offensive line. They gave Trey Lowe a pocket that he could step up in and get it out. Great job here of Brownlee stopping and getting the ball.
Yeah, Jason Brownlee, 7 pass receptions on the season, over 20-plus yards. He is their big play threat. You might as well call him Big Play Brownlee. Speaking of big play, this is Frank Gore Jr. going for 11 yards and a Golden Eagle first down. He's getting close to that century mark, and that was the only game this year, the North Texas game. He had over 100 yards against North Texas, 130 to be exact, and that was the only game they won in this football season so far.
He has been the key to this offense, and we continue to see that today.
Ball right in the middle of the field at the 44. They're going to the reverse here. Play action pass, and this one going to be hit. He had a wide open Brownlee. Did Trey Lowe. Boy, look at Frank Gore Jr. come up and make the stop. The interception is going to be made. That's Jarrell Green, the redshirt sophomore out of Birmingham, Alabama. He wasn't on there too deep entering today. He's made a couple of plays already, and now an interception, the first of his North Alabama career. And that was a nice risk, but unfortunately you'll see is on the replay, Trey Lowe was hit right when he went to throw.
It was. They got a little too fancy there. He tried to throw it downfield and just happened to get that back shoulder hit. Kind of threw him off balance and just threw it out to no man's land.
That was your guy as well, Wallace Cowens Jr. with the pressure and the deflection on the arm of Trey Lowe III. I know you didn't see it on the shot, but Jason Brownlee didn't have a player within 30 yards of him on that play. Here's Deaver into his running back. That's Jawan Howell trying to fight for a couple of yards. So Southern Miss taking a shot. Unfortunately, resulted in a turnover, and great field position and a great opportunity for North Alabama. Major personnel change. You don't see this much from this Lion offense. In a couple of games we watched, they really stuck with the unit that stayed on the field. This time, though, they bring a tight end and H-back. That's Driggers in motion out of the backfield. And a crossing pattern. That's Corson Swan. We mentioned how Deaver loves to get it to him. And that's Swan, the tight end, with his first reception today inside the 30.
So, Jason, I just want to break this down to you a little bit easier for those of you at home that are watching. When North Alabama sends a guy in motion and Southern Miss doesn't chase him across the formation, they're going to stay to a zone. Now, that gives Dever the information, hey, they're now in a zone, so now he's got to find a window to get to his receiver. They had 3 receivers to the field on that side. All those linebackers dropped back. The corner dropped back. That allowed that crossing route to come across the middle. He was able to get him the ball and get a big gain there.
Back to the standard spread set. That's Swan, the tight end, to the right of the formation. Handoff to Howell. Howell trying to get outside. He lost the football, and he'll recover it while laying on the turf. The ball was kicked towards him out of the hand of Blake Deaver, and it was Howell who got right back on his own mistake. That was Tyler Barnes who had popped that football loose. Barnes nearly recovered the fumble he caused. Heads up play by Jawan Howell to get right back on it as he kind of had it fortunately roll right to him. Really didn't even have to move while laying on the turf to pick up that football. Lucky break for North Alabama. Can they capitalize on it? As we approach 5.5 minutes of a third quarter. Jet motion, and he'll throw it out to Jacoby Bird, the man in that motion. That was a nice play. That's the Wolf backer. That's Avery Habas who comes over and makes that tackle for Southern Miss. Didn't get fooled at all on that play.
And Jason, that's one of the hardest tackles to make on the field. When you're out there as a linebacker one-on-one versus a real shifty guy, of really just sinking your hips, staying balanced and making that play and wrapping up. Good job by him.
28 tackles on the season entering today. 3rd down and 11. They're just 1 of 8 on this football game from 3rd down. That one conversion came on their last offensive possession. Here's Deaver from the pocket. Deaver fires it. That's Dexter Boykin with the reception and a Lion first down inside the 15-yard line. Boy, look at Boykin fight for more yards down to the 11. Give him that forward progress. They'll actually go up tempo. They want to go right with it. They like the offensive personnel on that defensive package versus Southern Miss. Here's Parker Driggers on his first carry as a running back in the game. And look at the Lions push down to the 5-yard line some more.
And Jason, great job of Dever on that last 3rd and long of noticing that Southern Miss came out in a too high look, which leaves the middle of the field wide open. Great job playing pitch and catch with him as his receiver.
Santrell Latham a little slow to get up. That's going to cause him to check out. Make note of that if you're watching at home. Another look here at Latham kind of fighting to kind of push Driggers back. Looks like he got just a little shaken up. Unfortunately, that'll take the Golden Eagles' best tackler off the field for the moment. Latham's had a big day already. We've highlighted him a few times. Head athletic trainer Todd McCall will check on him on this Golden Eagles sideline. 2nd and 5 from the 5. It is goal to gain. They cannot get a first down, can the Lions of North Alabama. Deaver on your screen. That's Ron Thompson to his right. Read option. This is Thompson, and he is stopped right in his tracks. That's Hayes Maples, the product of Oak Grove High School. He's a local kid just down the road, about 8 miles down Highway 98 here in Hattiesburg. Maples with a big play. Maples, that was his 10th tackle of the football game today. 3rd and goal from the 5. Maybe one of the bigger moments for North Alabama in this game, trying to put it to a 2-possession game with a touchdown. This will be the 9th play coming here. See the motion at the top of the formation. Here comes all kinds of pressure by that Golden Eagle defense, and Beaver going to get rid of it. He had a target in Thompson, his tailback, front corner of the end zone, and it sails over his head. Incomplete. And all of a sudden now you're starting to see Southern Miss get to Deaver, move his feet, and that it's the pressure that now is making their passing game uncomfortable.
And they're doing a great job of getting him off his mark, forcing him to throw in a position he's not real comfortable with. Now, Dever did do a great job right there, not forcing anything and not turning the ball over. This now gives an opportunity for a field goal.
Sam Contorno on for his 2nd field goal opportunity of the game. This will be a 22-yard field goal attempt, nearly blocked and good. 13-7, North Alabama leads it in Hattiesburg today. We'll be back with more college football action on ESPN. 13-7, North Alabama leads it by 6. And the 9-play, 38-yard drive lasting 5 minutes and 1 second. A 22-yard field goal off the foot of Sam Contorno. And if you're North Alabama and you told them on Monday of this week you would have a 13-7 lead on the road against Southern Miss, you would say what, Dustin Allman?
Are you serious?
And we are, and they are at this point. They've really executed well to a point. What you want to know is the story developing in this game. Did they not expand that lead enough in the first half? Did this Golden Eagle defense give themselves an opportunity to win this football game? I would say that the answer to that question is yes, but we'll never know that until, another couple minutes, I would say, here in Hattiesburg. That's Contorno on your screen. Back deep to receive, Brandon Hayes, along with Antoine Robinson. High kick. This will be Hayes from his 10. This is the Oak Grove product as well. He has got some wheels. He'll get out across the 30 and up to the 33-yard line. We'll be back with the Golden Eagle offense when we return. 13-7 North Alabama. Back with more on ESPN. Great shot of the rock in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Jason Baker, Dustin Allman, glad you're with us today. North Alabama trying to get a win on the road. This North Alabama defense, they held nationally ranked number 25 Liberty to their lowest point total of the season, Dustin, 28 points. That's a Liberty team that went to Blacksburg, Virginia, and got a win today over Virginia Tech. Here's a shot at some tackles for loss from this defensive line.
And we talked to Coach Willis early on in the week, and he had mentioned they only play 4 games this year, but he said, look, Dustin, we are playing kind of out of our conference. We go into these games, we expect to win. We don't consider ourselves the underdog. And the best thing I like about Coach Willis is the emotion, the passion he talks with, and you can see it coming through to this North Alabama football team.
That's D. Baker. We've seen Baker with a couple of carries today. He's a speedster. If he finds a seam, there won't be many that'll run him down. An 11-yard carry for the product out of Northwest Rankin High School for Southern Miss. Trey Lowe III, the quarterback today, Jack Abraham unavailable, as well as Tate Watley. Trey Lowe III making his first career start as a Golden Eagle, a transfer from West Virginia. What a block he just got from D. Baker. This is Brandon Hayes on the shovel pass. It'll go as a forward pass for Trey Lowe. That was Baker out in front. Another look at it, and you'll see an excellent block out on the edge here, right there.
Here's Southern Miss again utilizing one of their other playmakers, and just this little short shuttle pass is a way to get the ball in their hands.
Hayes, a versatile young man. His father was a fantastic football player in his own right. Trey Lowe III here on a pass out to the tight end. That's the usually reliable Grayson Gunter, in and out of his hands. That'll be a drop. That was a nice read by Trey Lowe III as well. Gunter didn't have a soul on him and would have had plenty of running space for the tight end, the Arkansas transfer. Great shot of him there on your screen.
Great job there of Coach Kubik mixing it up, getting everyone involved. They sold the run inside and kind of snuck that tight end out on the corner, just failed to execute.
So it gives us a 2nd down and 10 on the drop pass. Brownlee, bottom of your screen. This is the territory they like to take a shot to him at. Trey Lowe III will leave it to D. Baker. Watch D. Baker try to make a move here. And he will fight down. Going to be a yard shy, 9-yard carry, 3rd down and 1. You alluded to it in the first half, Dustin, that we needed to get in more 3rd down and manageables. That was back when we hadn't had a 3rd down conversion. Now 1 of 5 on 3rd downs in this ball game. A big 3rd down opportunity here with only about a minute to play in this 3rd quarter.
And 3rd and 1 allows you, Jason, to do a lot of different things. You're not just stuck on the run. You're not just stuck on the pass. So let's see what North Alabama dials up defensively.
Watch the redshirt sophomore. That's Cole Cavallo. They used him quite a bit last week. Trey Lowe going under center here. A straight design quarterback sneak. He'll go right behind his center, Trace Clopton, the junior out of Brookhaven, Mississippi. Clopton, a young man that was a true freshman starting center when he came here to Southern Miss. Trace making his return. You see him right here behind his center.
And the key to a quarterback being very good at the quarterback sneak is kind of just waiting a split second and getting between that A-gap between your center and your right or left guard, depending on what they show you defensively.
Trey Lowe III here. That's Kevin Perkins, who's back in the game. He has the only score for Southern Miss today, a tackle for a loss on that carry by Kevin Perkins.
So, Jason, we've really noticed with this North Alabama defense, they really step it up when we start getting closer to the red zone. They've done a great job of only allowing Southern Miss to get in that end zone one time today.
3 quarters of play are in the books in Hattiesburg, Mississippi today. We got an exciting 4th quarter coming up when we return. Conference USA football on ESPN. Welcome back to the Pine Belt, Hattiesburg, Mississippi. 13-7 North Alabama leads this one. Jason Baker, Dustin Allman, glad you're with us this afternoon. Lee Field, our producer and director of this broadcast today. Thank you for spending your Saturday afternoon with us. What a 4th quarter we got on our hands. Southern Miss with the football down outside the 30-yard line. Dustin, when you think about one score and an extra point, and Southern Miss could be leading this football game.
They have, and the first 3 quarters, the ball really didn't bounce well for Southern Miss. Right now, they're fighting right here in this 4th quarter. Gloomy day today, setting the tone for this battle here in the 4th quarter.
There's a pass to Brandon Hayes here along the near sideline that cannot be contained and controlled by Hayes. Hayes has had a lot more action today. No Tim Jones today. Tim dressed on the sideline. He was the All-Conference USA preseason selection. Here's another look at Hayes. Just a freshman mistake. Kind of ran before he had it secured. He's going to be a good one, though. You like him as a running back, wide receiver combo, kind of a guy they flex around. Trey Lowe design run here, and he is met right in the middle of that defensive formation. One thing you will say about Wallace Cowens Jr., when he puts his hands on you, you are going down. There you see him tap Trey Lowe III on the top of the head. Coach Willis earlier this week identified Wallace Cowens Jr., said he's the guy on this defense that the NFL scouts are taking a look at. He's a difference maker, a speed rush guy. We featured him in the open, and he's been everything as advertised.
He's been extremely active today. They've only rushed three. They only rushed 3 in that last play and kept Southern Miss to a gain of 1.
4th down and 4. Trey Lowe III, blitz coming from the Lions. Trey Lowe III takes it, going to deliver across the middle. Is it caught? It is. DeMarcus Jones has got the conversion. What a job by Trey Lowe III to stay in the pocket and deliver that throw with the Mike backer, Will Evans, breathing in his face.
That's a veteran play right here. He feels the blitz coming from the field, slides over, manages enough time to let his receiver body up that defender, and puts the ball where only he can make the play. Great catch.
Well, I was just about to say the same thing, Dustin. What a job by DeMarcus Jones to hang on to it. He had Jarrell Green, who had the INT earlier for North Alabama, kind of fighting all over his back. That's Hayes in motion, shovel pass to him. Here comes Brandon Hayes. Look at Frank Gore Jr. with the block out in front. Hayes will be tripped up at the 15-yard line is the official spot. But there you see, that's what they like with Brandon Hayes, his role growing today without Tim Jones. They like him kind of running back, wide receiver type flex kind of guy. 2nd down and 6. Boy, you almost feel like this crowd that's at the Rock today waiting to see their Golden Eagles with a lead. Trey Lowe III into Frank Gore Jr., who slips one tackle, not another. Boy, when the Lions get to you, they get to you in an angry mood. That's Wallace Cowens Jr. in on the stop as well. Mike Boykin, who we credited with the blocked field goal. The big defensive tackle giving chase and knocking Frank Gore Jr. out as well. This is where this conditioning, is it going to be a factor in today? Remember, they have not played in over 2 weeks. It's been just themselves at practice for over 14+ days. That's Cole Cavallo across the formation. Hard count. Trey Lowe did it to him. Got him off sides. He's going to air it into the end zone to Brownlee and out of play. We got some pushing and shoving going on in the middle. That's between Trace Clopton. And if they don't get to him, this isn't going to end well. That's Broderick Martin, the defensive tackle they're getting out of there. The intensity of this game ratcheting up a little bit. I think Southern Miss kind of senses what the score is and how important this drive is to this football game. And so we'll see a few players who are coming off this field for the Lions. I believe they'll have one play to sit and calm down. But I'm going to tell you, if you had to pick 3 guys to go take a seat, that was Martin, Wallace Cowens Jr., as well as Mike Boykin. They all go and take a seat. That's 3 impact players on that defensive line that are out from what our indication is, at least for a play at this moment.
That is big, Jason. Again, we go to the keys of this game early, controlling the line of scrimmage, and these boys are out for a fight.
Offside on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
We had so much going on. I forgot there was a penalty. I wondered what the officiating discussion exactly was involving, and it was the offsides. That was a heads-up play by the quarterback, Trey Lowe III, the coach's kid. Gets some offsides, throws it to the end zone to give his opportunity to try to steal a point on a free play, but instead now with the penalties gives his offense a 3rd down and 2.
Jason, the only thing I would kind of throw in there, Trey Lowe, he's got to keep that ball in bounds and give his receiver a chance. They're on that free play.
Big Kevin Perkins, the running back to the left. Now Trey Lowe going under center. We've seen this a couple times today. He's going to toss it out to Perkins, who's got room. Is he in? He is. 11-yard touchdown run for Kevin Perkins, his 2nd of the day. A high five to athletic director Jeremy McClain as well. And the Golden Eagles are an extra point away from leading this football game.
So Perkins is the scoring machine there in that backfield.
That is Perkins' 4th touchdown of the season.
So a great job here of Kubik. They showed earlier on kind of transitioning into a quarterback sneak. So he kind of got everyone in the box, really focused on both A gaps, and was able to toss it out to Perkins, and Perkins took it in for the score.
Bourgeois' extra point sneaks inside the right upright, and guess what? 14-13, Southern Miss has got a lead in this football game. We've got more action coming to you from the Rock in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. A dreary afternoon in Hattiesburg, but all of a sudden the Golden Eagles have a lead, 14-13. A lot it's got to do with that man right there, Kevin Perkins, Dustin Allman.
Perkins is known as their kind of short down running back. They'll feature him a lot in the red zone. Now he's not really the featured back. Our featured back right here is Frank Gore Jr., but the guy putting in all the touchdowns this season has been Perkins.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns on the season. That last drive, 12 plays, 66 yards, 5.5 minutes. The only 2 drives today for the Golden Eagles that have lasted over 5 minutes have resulted in scores for Southern Miss. They've got a lead. Can this defense continue their play? We're fixing to find out. Briggs Bourgeois hooks one here down the near sideline, out of bounds. That's a mistake for Bourgeois. He won't be happy with himself. The redshirt junior out of St. Amant, Louisiana, kind of hooked that one. You see his disgust there as he comes off the field. A young man who's battled back from an injury disclosed this week that he had suffered a torn groin, kind of a rare injury for a kicker, but really having a fantastic year for Southern Miss. He is a weapon, just a mistake there, but it'll put the football up to the 30-yard line, and all of a sudden a crowd in the Rock has come to life. Look at the defense hopping around for the Golden Eagles. They've got a little pep to their step, a little energy, if you will. But this is a North Alabama offense that is veteran-driven, mainly due to that quarterback you see, Blake Deaver, the redshirt senior. He had signed to Savannah State out of high school, transferred, actually made his collegiate first career start in this building. Deaver down the field here to Andre Little, and that is incomplete. Good coverage by Malik Shorts, but boy, you see Little's talent. He got his hands on that football, leaping over the top of Malik Shorts.
He did do a great job, Jason. So Southern Miss defense has been playing from behind all day today. Now that they have the lead, let's see if they can continue to play this run-stop, pass-stop defense they've been showing all day.
Southern Miss has gone to an odd front, a 3-man front, choosing to drop a lot into coverage. That seems to have affected Deaver. He started off 5 of 5, although he's continued to be 17 of 20 for the football game. 141 throwing is Blake Deaver. He'll bring Parker Driggers out of the backfield. Deaver going to step up and slide down. He was being chased by Santrell Latham and Terrence Cherry. Cherry, the next rush in for this Golden Eagle defense, a freshman out of the D1 factory that is West Point High School in West Point, Mississippi.
Jason, Southern Miss defense has done a great job of only rushing 3 D linemen, and getting pressure on Devers is really throwing him off.
3rd down and long. If there's been one negative thing today against North Alabama, you would say it's been 3rd downs, 2 of 10, just 20%. Driggers out of the backfield. They love an empty set. That's Driggers back in motion. This is Deaver giving chase. That was Cherry with the pressure again. That's the freshman, 24, Terrence Cherry, giving that pressure. Well, you see a fired up Golden Eagle sideline. This defense a 3-and-out, Dustin, and they're going to give this football right back to the Golden Eagle offense.
This is a big stop by Southern Miss. They're really coming and showing their own now. Like I said, the question today was what Southern Miss defense was going to show up. How are they going to stop these playmakers that North Alabama has? They've done a great job, Jason.
A hidden weapon today for North Alabama, maybe this guy standing back at the 17. That's Joe Gurley, their punter. A 49-yard average on 5 punts. He's had one of 60 yards today. That was his season long. Natron Brooks stands back at his 20. Gurley has hit a punt down to the 21. That's where Brooks will take it. Brooks giving a couple of moves, a little wiggle, if you will, up across the 25, but no further. We'll return. The Golden Eagle offense taking the field. You're watching Conference USA football on ESPN. 14-13, Golden Eagles with the football and clinching to a 1-point lead in this football game. Southern Miss, by the way, on that last scoring drive on the Perkins touchdown. That was their 11th scoring drive of the season of 10-plus plays or more. They have resulted in those drives 7 touchdowns and 4 field goals. And so can they give an answer? Can they make it a little more difficult on North Alabama? Trey Lowe III growing up before our eyes. He's in the gun. This is Frank Gore Jr. with a carry. Southern Miss today, by the way, that running game that we spoke of, they've had 9 runs of 10-plus yards or more. They've actually totaled, of their 192 yards rushing, 167 have come on those 9 carries for the Southern Miss ground game. And we spoke to it earlier. We felt it had to be a Frank Gore kind of day, and it has. Frank a little over 90 yards on 10-plus carries, 11 carries to be exact, for 92 yards. Here he is again. Oh, look at that move. Here he goes, and he'll be up close and have a Golden Eagle first down. Boy, look at that stutter step in the middle of that run.
Southern Miss has done a great job up front of wearing down this front of North Alabama, and it all starts with this guy right here, forcing it up there in the gap and then just staying patient and kind of, using his peripheral vision and kicking out to the right.
That was Kyrie Fields on that whiff that Frank Gore gave him the move on. Frank Gore checked himself out, pulled himself out for a moment. Not sure exactly why, the meaning behind it. He's at 101 yards as Frank Gore Jr. This is Darius Mayberry, the product out of Clinton High School. He was high school teammates with Cam Akers, the Los Angeles Rams running back. 2nd down and 8. There's a shot of Frank Gore. You see him along that sideline with a little bit of a limp. Might have just went down funny trying to walk it off on that Golden Eagle sideline. Approaching about the halfway mark of this 4th quarter. Here's Mayberry, got to see him. We'll have it forward on a nice carry by Darius Mayberry. He's been a nice change of pace. We've only seen him a few times. That was his 6th carry of the game. A great shot at him. He's a guy they had a lot of high hopes for. We mentioned his injuries early in his career, but he's sort of a different style runner. He's a bigger guy than Frank Gore Jr. is.
He is a bigger guy. If I could describe this backfield, Frank Gore would be the little jab, right? And then you got Mayberry coming in. He's your little kind of to the gut little jab. And then you got Perkins, as we've known, getting in the end zone. He's your uppercut guy. But this O-line has done a great job of allowing all 3 backs today to get some action.
3rd down and 3. Trey Lowe pulls it this time. Right decision. Look at him run out here across the 50 and into Lion territory. You just kind of can see the body language from Trey Lowe's a little different now than it was at the start of this game.
He has, and like we were talking about earlier in this game, he finally has let the game come to him. He is relaxed. The offensive coordinator is he knows what he can and cannot call with this guy. Southern Miss has done a great job moving the football in the 2nd half.
Yeah, those 2 guards, Tykeem Doss and Gerquan Scott. Scott's a redshirt freshman out of Mobile, Alabama, into that starting lineup. Play action pass and a little flip pass out to Cole Cavallo, who will move the chains again for Southern Miss. Cavallo is a really sneaky weapon. They really like him. He missed entire fall camp sick. And Matt Kubik described him as a guy who's tough, dependable, and sneaky fast, and you see him here.
They're doing a great job of getting everyone involved in this offense. They tried this play earlier in the 2nd half. They just didn't execute, and here they come back executing and getting the 1st down.
Frank Gore back into the game. Good sign for the Golden Eagles. He'll get the carry as well. Boy, he was close. He was 1 missed tackle away. That was Wallace Cowens, who probably secured a touchdown saving tackle, as there was a seam and no one was there. Frank Gore Jr. coming out. That's going to have him over 105 yards for the football game. The last time he rushed for 100 yards, well, that was against North Texas. That was the win for Southern Miss against North Texas, 41-31 out in Denton. 2-yard gain for Frank Gore. That's Cavallo across the formation. This is Trey Lowe III. He's going to get it out to Antoine Robinson. Robinson with a stiff arm. He ain't going down. He'll go out of bounds, forced out of bounds by Will Singleton, the corner for North Alabama. And it's a different kind of swagger right now for this Golden Eagle offense.
It is, and you can tell by the play calling. They're starting to have trust in Trey Lowe. Great job here throwing the out route, and then just great execution of this receiver fighting.
That out route, sometimes it looks so simple, but it's a timing route. You got to let it go before he even comes out of that break, do you not?
It is a timing route, and you're throwing to a spot as a quarterback. You're not throwing to the receiver, but you have a spot marked on the sideline, and they both were on the same page there. Great execution.
Trey Lowe III in the shotgun. That's Perkins to his right. The touchdown machine play action pass. He's going up top. That was a mistake. Nearly a disaster. That was Mike Boykin who with the pressure. Boykin awfully proud of his pressure as well, standing in that backfield. Boykin's been a problem today, the defensive line guy for North Alabama. He plays a 3 technique. They've moved him over the nose some. Here he comes from a rush-in spot right there at the back end of that replay.
Jason, as we mentioned earlier, this is no little fella. He brings it. Long arm span. I think we said, he's 6'6", big guy up there at front. He's the one that actually had the field goal block earlier in the first half.
Yeah, 6'6", 290, the senior out of Carrollton, Georgia. He's been a problem today. This is Kevin Perkins. Speaking of problems, how about Perkins? Spins through a tackle, another, and he's in! Perkins has got his 3rd touchdown of the day. He has put the Golden Eagles on top 20-13. And you see the head bob from Kevin Perkins. And what strength from the running back.
We talked about it earlier, him being the uppercut. What a fight there. Running back coach Akeem Davis has done a great job with all 3 of these backs. He's been rotating him in and out. But there's one thing that sticks out with all 3 of these backs. They're not easy to be taken down.
Briggs Bourgeois with an important extra point. This could push the total to 8-point differential. Good snap, good hold. And it is good. Off the foot of Briggs Bourgeois. 10 plays, 73 yards on the scoring drive by that man, Kevin Perkins. Back with more on ESPN. 21-13, Southern Miss leads it by 8. That man, Kevin Perkins, having a day. 3 touchdowns and a look at that last touchdown run for the Golden Eagles. See, make one miss and then break the tackle. That's the strength of Perkins, Dustin.
This is just him not wanting to give up and he smells that end zone, Jason, and he is getting in there.
So an 8-point game. You just said it to me a moment ago, though. Don't get too comfy. This is a winning culture program in North Alabama. They're a well-coached team. That's been evident by their play today. They're not going to go away lightly without having something to say over this final 5:33 here of this football game. Briggs Bourgeois to kick it away. And he has done so down to the 2. Mishandled. That's Andre Little, the wide receiver for North Alabama. He is now in space and up across the 25-yard line. So timeout on the field will return to Hattiesburg. That's Perkins. 3 TDs today. We'll be back with more action on ESPN. (21-13) in the Pine Belt. Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Jason Baker, Dustin Allman. Glad you're spending your Saturday evening with us. What a ball game we've had. Saw North Alabama get off to a 10-0 lead in this football game. Southern Miss responded back, and it's been this unit, the Golden Eagle defense, that's really kept Southern Miss in this football game in that first half. This North Alabama offense, led by Blake Deaver, is not going to go away quietly. Here's a pass out to Ron Thompson. He is immediately dropped. That's Natron Brooks on the tackle. That's only a gain of about 1.5. One thing I'll say as well, this has been a team that has tackled well out on the edge today. Cameron Harrell's had a couple of plays out on the edge, and that's a tough play, because if you don't make that tackle, all of a sudden what was a 1.5, 2-yard gains, all of a sudden a big play. Here's a ball downfield. That's Brooks. He's got it. INT for the Golden Eagle defense. Made a big play on first down, makes a bigger play on second down. First INT today for quarterback Blake Deaver, and another look at it.
Brooks does a great job of just turning and finding the ball and attacking it, that what we call that high point. Great job coming down with it here and getting Southern Miss back on the field offensively.
USM's defense today has forced a season-high 6 punts with that turnover as well. They've been a unit that'll probably get a little overlooked in this game, but make no bones about it. Really the developing story was that they kept their team in it early in this football game and now have given their offensive unit an opportunity to extend the lead and possibly put the Lions away. Our referee, Billy Williams, excuse me.
The previous play of an interception is under review.
So we'll have our first replay of the game. I'm not sure what they could be looking at other than did Brooks not complete the catch? There's no sign of him losing the football. Yeah, I would say this is as safe as a bet as you'll find, that there's no way they're overturning this one. I would say it is going to be an interception. Natron Brooks' first INT of the season, the first of his Golden Eagle career, the product of Copiah Lincoln Community College. Played for defensive coordinator William Jones at Colin. And as they take a look, we'll wait and hear from our referee. Billy Williams, who you see on the screen. Not exactly sure the reason for the full delay, and here we go.
With the ground, it's an interception. First down, Southern Miss.
That's what they were looking at. Did he complete the catch all the way to the ground? That's the new rules with replay that they can verify. Did he maintain that possession? He clearly did. Good job by Natron Brooks of taking that football away from the Lions. Darius Mayberry running back into the backfield for Southern Miss. That's Mayberry with a block on the edge. This is Antoine Robinson turning the corner. Boy, those running backs for Southern Miss have blocked on the edge today for the Golden Eagles.
The receivers done a great job as well blocking for the receivers. Now they're kind of showing some love for each other. It's good to see this unit playing together as one unit. Robinson, a real quick, shifty guy, Jason.
Junior out of Canton, Mississippi. He was teammates with Natron Brooks, the young man who made the INT at Colin just a moment ago. Approaching under 4 minutes left in the football game. This is Darius Mayberry. Mayberry spins down inside the 35. Short gain. This is a Lion defense that I would tell you is kind of playing with a little bit of an edge at the moment. Trying to put this Golden Eagle offense behind the down and distance to try to give their offense one more opportunity to tie this football game up. Remember, a differential of 8 at the moment for the Golden Eagles. Matt Kubik taking his time, working some clock. The Lions do possess all 3 of their timeouts of the second half. Trey Lowe, the third in the gun. Shovel pass to Antoine Robinson. Robinson around the tackle of Mike Boykin. He will dive forward to the 31-yard line. And we've seen this a couple of times already, just some chippiness here towards the end of this game. Matt Kubik choosing to keep it on the ground, chewing up this clock. And a timeout taken by Chris Willis, the head coach of North Alabama. So, Dustin, if you're Southern Miss, you found yourself down, no other way to describe it, just a disastrous start to this football game. But if you're Tim Billings and you're able to hold on to this win tonight, how thrilled are you that your team overcome those circumstances to find themselves with an 8-point lead here with 3:08 to play in the fourth quarter?
It speaks volumes of this program, Jason. We've seen all the ups and all the downs, more downs this season that this program has gone through. You know, you lose Coach Hobson, you turn around, your interim coach leaves for another program. Now you hear Coach Billings is trying to keep everything together. And, of course, the way this game started off, it was rough. Opening possession, they have a turnover. Then again, they have another turnover in their next possession. But Southern Miss has done a great job of really keeping their focus, and Billings has done a great job of moving forward with this program.
Yeah, he said in his Monday press conference this week he needed to get this team's confidence back. That was his goal. Said he wasn't worried about Western Kentucky, who's their opponent next week, or any other further Conference USA game. He was worried about this game and this team gaining their confidence back. And, of course, at that moment that he was speaking, he didn't know whether he was going to do that with a senior QB in Jack Abraham or if he's doing it with his youngster in Trey Lowe III, and they just so happen to be doing it with Trey Lowe III. Here's the shovel pass to Brandon Hayes. Hayes trying to get to the outside, and Hayes has lost the football at the moment, and it's picked up by North Alabama. It's going to be recovered by Alonzo Creighton, the senior out of Prairieville, Louisiana.
So, Jason, this is where you got to be careful as an offensive coordinator. You're only up by 8 points. You got to be careful. Yes, you are milking the clock, but at the same time, you got to be careful for a turnover, just like what happened here.
A late penalty flag onto the field. That's Jarrell Green that's being issued off. I believe it'll be an unsportsmanlike foul. We'll wait on the call from our referee, Billy Williams. Also, the downside of that for North Alabama, you're going to give this field a time to look at this play.
Rule on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 25 of the defense. That's his first towards disqualification. The 15-yard pull to be assessed from the recovery spot. The previous play is under review.
So they're going to take a look at it. We called it as they called it on the field, but here's a look. Brandon Hayes might have been into the turf before he lost this football. We'll see. Oh, yeah, his knee. Hard to tell from that angle. You see the angst from Brandon Hayes. Here's a better shot. I think he's clearly down, Dustin. I think this one may get overturned.
This young man's got to do a better job of covering the nose of the football, especially late in the game as they're trying to run down the clock when a turnover is huge. The ball has finally bounced back in Southern Miss's favor. No pun intended here, but it looks like this Southern Miss is going to get it back in 4th and long.
We'll see how they look at it from a review standpoint. By the way, if you're looking ahead for each of these clubs, Southern Miss set to take on the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky. They're yet to play today. They're, matter of fact, about to get underway down in Boca Raton, Florida against FAU tonight. For North Alabama, they'll skip a week, which has been the theme of their season, and then they're off to Provo, Utah. There's another shot, and boy, that's great camera work by the guys. Yeah, his knee is clearly down, ball still in his grasp. That's what they're seeing in the booth. That's what we're showing you at home. That's a great shot of head coach Tim Billings. Our referee, Billy Williams, is getting the rule from the booth. The crowd here clapping as the indication from the official is going back to the 40-yard line. There you see in the middle of your screen with the football. And actually with the unsportsmanlike penalty, it's going to advance the football, I believe, for Southern Miss down to the 25. Here's the rule.
After review, it's been determined the runner was down at the 40-yard line prior to the ball coming out. The unsportsmanlike conduct penalty to be assessed from that spot. That'll be number 28's first towards disqualification. First down, Southern Miss.
So that was Jarrell Green that was assessed the unsportsmanlike. So after all of that commotion, it is Golden Eagle football with the nose of the football just shy of the 25-yard line, 2:59 to play in this fourth quarter. See if the coach's kid, Trey Lowe III, who played for his dad, he was actually a top 5 finalist for Mr. Football in the state of Tennessee coming out of high school. See if his composure doesn't pay off here. He can try to lead his Golden Eagle team to victory. This is big Kevin Perkins again. Perkins is dropped. That's a nice tackle. Will Evans, the Mike backer, comes up, makes the tackle for loss. That's his 3rd tackle for loss on the season. Southern Miss over 240 rushing yards today. That's 3 out of the last 4 games. They've eclipsed the 200 mark of rushing yards totals. The highest total of the 4 is today against North Alabama. 2nd and 11, that's low. Into Perkins. Perkins down to the 21-yard line, ridden down to the 21-yard line. That was Terrell Townsend making the tackle. They've done a good job against Townsend today, has the Golden Eagle offensive line. He's been working all day against Khalik Washington, the senior from Lebanon, Pennsylvania. Timeout taken by North Alabama. They possess 1 timeout remaining. Under 2 minutes. That's a great shot of Ryan Stanchek, our offensive line coach. What's he telling his unit as they head down to try to march this clock out and try to gain a Southern Miss victory?
Really, to be smart and use your head. Let's not get into it with this front of North Alabama and cause a personal foul, which, as we noticed on this last, which caused all this to get Southern Miss back at a first down, was by a stupid mistake by a young man with North Alabama, allowing Southern Miss to get in 1st and 10, and here they are now in this 3rd and medium.
Yeah, that was a dead ball and sportsmanlike on Jarrell Green that Dustin Allman is referring to. That advanced this football 15 yards on the overturn on instant replay.
And Jason, North Alabama hasn't had too many major mistakes, one that you can control. Now that one cost his team, and I think Coach will have some words with him on the way home.
3rd down and 6 facing Southern Miss here today. Southern Miss 4 of 9 on 3rd down conversions. They didn't have a 3rd down conversion in the first half. This is Kevin Perkins. Perkins bouncing off 1 tackle, but not Mike Boykin. That's Boykin who's got him here. Boykin pushes Perkins to the ground. Crowd of Golden Eagle faithful not happy. Neither is Kevin Perkins. You see Perkins kind of pleading his case as well. And a timeout called by North Alabama. It's going to be a 4th and 5 here. And this is where having a veteran coach like interim head coach Tim Billings, he's been in situations like these. I would imagine he's going to give the opportunity to his kicker in Briggs Bourgeois, the redshirt junior 2-year letter winner out of St. Amant, Louisiana. He's expressed how excited he's been to be back kicking the football as a place kicker. And he mentioned just how much of a recovery it took to overcome that injury for Briggs Bourgeois. It is going to be a 37-yard field goal attempt. He's got a long on the year of 49 yards.
Jason, we've noticed Boykin making a lot of plays here in this last series. Let's see if he can show up for his team here and get another big Paul up there and block this kick.
Yeah, he blocked a 28-yard field goal attempt earlier in this game. Bourgeois gives the nod. Snyder will hold. This kick is up, and he has flushed it right down the center cut. 24-13. Bourgeois puts his team on top by 2 possessions And as a kicker, that's got to be one of the great feelings in the world, to know that you're icing a game for your football team, and especially overcoming where you had a block kick earlier in the football game.
It is. He was able to calm his nerves and seal this game. That is, I think we're all sitting here really just stunned that just took place.
Yeah, Bourgeois hits the field goal for Southern Miss, 24-13. Here's another look. Great job by Snyder on the hole. And Bourgeois, you see the enthusiasm. He mentioned in that Monday press conference when Sports Information Director Jack Duggan brought him in, he mentioned how enthusiastic he was to be back kicking the football and how that was his desire. That's what he wanted to do here as a Golden Eagle. And props to him. It's really difficult as us as announcers whether to tell whose fault it was on a blocked field goal. All we know is Mike Boykin made a heck of a play earlier. But Bourgeois bounces back and nails that one for Southern Miss. A 38-yard field goal. This is taken by the up back. That's the backup tailback for the Lions, Tyler Price. By the way, that scoring drive for Southern Miss took 8 plays, spanned 28 yards, took 3 minutes and 13 seconds off the clock. And so North Alabama's got some firepower. They have some big play ability. They've not been able to connect on the big play today, but they certainly have the ability with guys like Andre Little, Dexter Boykin, Jacoby Bird as well. Boykin has been the guy, the target today. He's had 6 receptions. He's right there at the bottom of your screen. Deaver in the gun. He'll step up and deliver. That's to his tailback. Yeah, that's Jawan Howell. Up to the 40-yard line. Lions in their hurry-up offense. What's important for Deaver here in a 2-minute situation to do?
Really just to protect the football. You see on that last one, he checks down. Southern Miss is kind of in a prevent defense, which is going to give you that running back right over the middle. He's just got to be careful not to force anything and put his team in a bad situation.
Incomplete pass here. Good coverage applied on that far side. That was Natron Brooks with the coverage.
Jason, a lot of teams like in this prevent like to protect the sideline because they know if they get a quick catch, they can get out and stop the clock. So this kind of leaves the middle wide open. I used to love this kind of hurry up offense right before the half and get quick spot, quick score. But look for the vulnerability in this defense to be there in the middle.
3rd down and 2. He's got to at least move the chains to give himself a chance. This is Jawan Howell, who's knocked off his feet. Boys, what about in the 4th quarter? Natron Brooks is coming up to make the tackle on Howell. It was enough to move the sticks. Southern Miss was down 10-0 in this football game in the 2nd quarter. They've outscored North Alabama 24-3 since. Deaver checks down to Howell. Boy, guess who? Santrell Latham. Good to see him back on the field. Latham is having a heck of a season.
Jason, Southern Miss defense has done a phenomenal job today of really keeping North Alabama's offense in check. They really haven't allowed them to get anything going.
So be possibly the final play. Deaver whips this one out over the head of his intended target. Incomplete. And our referee, Billy Williams, has signaled that's it. That's the final. 24-13. That's the final score. Southern Miss outscores North Alabama 24-3 after being down 10-0. There's a shot at Chris Willis's ball club. Next up for them, BYU and Heisman hopeful Zach Wilson out in Provo, Utah. Best of luck to the Lions of North Alabama. Here's the look at Kevin Perkins, who had quite a day today. This was the first where he got into the end zone on his first TD. Here's the second and the final, the 3rd touchdown. Look at the strength by the tailback, Kevin Perkins. So for Dustin Allman, I'm
Jason Perkins is going to give all of his credit to the front five. That was one of the keys coming into this game, was could they win the battle up front at the line of scrimmage. This allowed Perkins and those other two backs to really get things going and really solidify this win for Southern Miss, ending up here 24-13.
Yeah, an 11-point win for the Golden Eagles. And what an afternoon it was in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. So for Dustin Allman, I'm Jason Baker from Hattiesburg, where the final score, Southern Miss wins it over North Alabama, 24-13. All games airing on the ESPN networks or streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.